Right. It's that time of the month. But not that time of the month. The other time of the month. AJ, take it away.
Well, on that, it's when you're seeing this, it's going to be Halloween, like the day of Halloween, and you will have seen all the stuff I put out in October by then, and this is kind of our finale where we wanted to get all four of us involved for some big thing, and there were some ideas and like, franchises or stuff like that, or what we usually do or whatever, but me and Owen came to the conclusion of doing like a bracket thing, and we were gonna do like a couple of different brackets for different things, but then we were like, oh, let's just make one big one for horror villains as a whole. So we rounded up 64. Some of them will be in groups, and some of them are humans, some of them are monsters, some of them are something else entirely. I guess at the end, I have a disclaimer about why certain things aren't listed, and you might be wondering that. But at the end, I'll probably go into all that so we can get started because we've never done anything like this, so we don't know how long this is going to go. But we're hoping not too long. And we've got a lot to do, so I guess we can go right into it, where we're just doing like the bracket elimination sort of thing.
Well,
And
first, I felt
between
it was
us,
only fair to introduce the runners and riders in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. Because I am also Super Sasadango Machine from. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that. No, I need to because of what I have planned. So I can't see anything other than the PowerPoint presentation. So if anything else goes wrong, and all of a sudden I like disconnect from the internet, I will have no clue. It's the genius of doing this sort of on record. Like, right. So yes, I just called it October Obsession for the sake of it. I don't know what working we're going with, but anyway, I think this is
and
all the 64 runners and riders. Oh, go ahead.
And what I was saying before we started was, I guess we'll just go around the table and we'll each give our take on the pairing as they come, and then we'll come to a consensus of who beats who. And hopefully there's not too much debate or
Because I've
brawling
also
or.
got the sort of brackets, like, at least for the opening round, blacked over. So even I can't remember who's against who. So it'll be full
Nice.
on sort of mystery. So, anyway, so the runners and riders. Number one, Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street. Number two, the Jason Voorhees from not the first Friday the 13th, even though he was in the boat. He got in the boat and scared the shit out of somebody, maybe. Number three, Michael Myers from the Halloween. Number four, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hold on, hold on. Stop fighting, guys. You might not even be facing each other. We don't know how the brackets are going. Put it down. Number five is Chucky. Problem is, I don't know whether Owen can see this. Probably not on his phone, so he doesn't know that that's Chucky from the WCW angle with Rick Steiner.
I literally see it says Popcast Network's October Obsession, and I'm not seeing anything. I'm just hearing your voice.
Oh, hang on. Now I'm trying to work out whether me going full screen means you can't see
There
it.
we go.
Ah, because it's full screen, it won't work. Balls.
Rick Steiner's worst enemy.
Okay, I can work around that. How do I go to the next slide? Great. I need the. Okay, now I need to. Now I need to get the thing. No, where's the thing?
I assumed they'd be revealed as we went, so this is going to be like a huge intro.
I would say after that video that surfaced a couple years ago, I don't know if Chucky's Rick Steiner's biggest enemy anymore or not.
Fair point.
That's a good point.
Right, so then. Oh, yeah, this one. Next up, the Candyman. The Candyman. The Candyman can. And in case you're wondering there was somebody missing, Chalamet! But yeah, number 6 is the Candyman. Number 7 is Leprechaun. Except if
Thanks,
only
Dylan.
we actually saw him in that film. It's only sort of 10 years on when I was purposefully looking for Hornswoggle, as he was in Leprechaun, that I found out, no, they made him walk on 2-foot stilts and have arms that were 2 foot longer, so he looked like a normal person. For somebody that's supposed to be, a leprechaun. The hell? Anyway. Leprechaun in the Hood there, of course. The late great Leprechaun in the Hood. Entrant number 8, Art the Clown from Terrifier. At number 9, The Fisherman, who may or may not be Ben Willis, depending which part of the franchise you're looking at. Number 10 is Samara from The Ring. Number 11 is Jigsaw, of which, okay, that's Billy the Puppet, but, it was either that or go with Jimmy Hart as Billy the Puppet. The hell.
I love that picture.
Then we have Norman Bates. Not that one. Probably. From Psycho. John Carver from the Thanksgiving. Is it a franchise or is it literally just one film? I'm trying to remember.
There's a new one coming.
Right now it's just one.
Oh, okay. Next up we have Pearl, who I guess technically was in 2 of the 3. Although their presence kind of is in Maxine to some extent. Then we have Pennywise. Insert random Tim Allen gif here. Then, speaking of that, Entrance 16, the Killer Clowns from the Outer Space. Then we have Annie Wilkes. Here's Johnny. No, wrong one. There it is. Damn it. Jack Torrance from The Shining. Then Pinhead. Hannibal Lecter. So good we made him thrice. The Babadook, as the Babadook. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Kevin Wendell Crumb from, I guess, both Split and Glass. Although, I tried making a slide with all of them, but then it would have been so small, nobody would be able to recognize any of the pictures. But then we have the Firefly family from I know it's the Rob Zombie trilogy, and I know one of them's House of a Thousand Corpses. Which are the other 2?
Devil's Rejects.
The Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell.
Right. There you go. Getting clarification from those that know more of it than me. Then Cujo. From Cujo. Who's called Cujo? Then Victor Crowley. From, I think, the Hatchet franchise.
Yes.
Even though there he looks more like Elvis on a bad day. Then the shark from Jaws. I tried to find the one that was some badly AI generated edit on top of whatever the Jaws shark was, but I can't remember what it was from, but I know it was something that garnered a lot of attention on Twitter a few months back. It was like, you just took the Jaws poster and put some shitty stuff at the top of it. Ghostface at 28. Also, we're there.
Get that off there.
Then Dracula at 29. Number 30 is The Grabber. So far in one film, but then I'm trying to remember.
By the time this comes out,
it will be 2.
The movie will officially be out by the time it comes out.
Yeah. And we have Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. The Armitage family from Get Out and Stick It on the Jordan Peele front. Jean Jacket, a.k.a. The Cloud from Nope. Number 34 is the Terminator. Are we specifically saying just the original Terminator here,
Yes.
rather than with Dracula? I guess it's sort of more in general and whatever.
Yeah.
For 35, the Xenomorph, again, just counting the original Xenomorph from 1979's Alien. And on that front, the original Predator from You Son of a Bitch. Then we have the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. Then Valak from the Conjuring franchise, which, you know, again, by the time you're watching this, it may have finally finished, unless they decide to do another 7.
No, they said this is going to be the last one, officially.
So did Terry Funk. Angela Baker from Sleepaway Camp. Says a lot that that's the only picture I can find of her. Like, it's that iconic, I guess. Pumpkinhead, who looks more like one of the Doctor Who villains on acid. Then John Ryder. Oh god, it's Sean Bean. I bet he dies in the end. Oh no, yeah, he definitely does.
Yes.
From The Hitcher. Rusty Nail from... Oh, what franchise is that one again?
Joyride.
Joyride. That's the one I saw. That might be one where I'm not going to talk very much about it. I've tried to look into what I can of it, because maybe the first one might have come out over here, or they might have just all gone direct to video. I don't remember exactly. Then we have Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. I guess we're talking any of them, right? Because there's been 3 different reboots of that, right?
There's at least 2, and he has a different identity in each one, so it's in general.
Okay. Then the Headless Horseman from Sleepy Hollow, specifically the 99 one. But in case you haven't seen that, I haven't revealed who it is, for mystery's sake. Whoa. I got a fever. Oh, I gave it away. Then we have Abigail, aka Dracula's daughter, but apparently they didn't want you to know that. It's stupid. Then we have Sam from Trick or Treat. David from The Lost Boys. Mrs. Mott from... Is she the hand that rocks the cradle, or is it the other one?
Yes, it's Hand Rocks the Cradle.
Because then afterwards is Hetty. This is I wasn't sure about her and Hetty. Hetty's from Single White Female. I'm trying to remember what's on the spreadsheet, which we'll get to. Then Christine from Christine. The Critters, closely followed by the Gremlins. Then we have the Wolfman.
In general.
In general. Then the Invisible Man. Also in general. But shout out to CGI Kevin Bacon there. And then the Mummy, of which I purposefully need to switch back to the thing, because hopefully we get this infamous moment. Or not. Great. Did the sound disappear? It was supposed to be Tom Cruise. God damn it.
Oh.
Tom Cruise screaming. It's gone now. What the hell? I'll press save on the thing. Anyway. Next we have Creature from the... Oh no, hang on. Wrong one. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Thanks, Del Toro. We have Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction. And if you can't remember who she is, I feel that will tell you what she is. Then we have Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night, which means the obligatory Colin Farrell reference, which also means it's an inanimate fucking... What happened to the sound? I put all this effort into putting the sound of it an inanimate fucking object, and it doesn't get played. God damn it. I now feel like he does with that phone. Smash the shit. Anyway, Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Max Cady from The Cape Fears. The Thing from The Thing. I didn't know what to get as a picture for that because, dear God, if you want to do the conspiracy theory and put a picture of Kurt Russell, there you go. We got the Tall Man from Phantasm. We have Billy from Black Christmas. And then also, finally, speaking of Kurt Russell, Stuntman Mike from Death Proof. And that's our lot. Hey, what about me, Jared Leto? No, get out. Anyway, it's time once again for everybody. Hang on, I need to switch over to. Hopefully, people saw that. I just realised it might not have been running in the background, so people might not have seen it, which is bloody awkward. But everybody on the stream saw it, so now I need to switch over to change stream. So in theory, nobody should have to worry about switching over. I just switch it over myself. To the brackets. I'll shut that one just for the ease of it. So we have the bounce bracket. We have the on it bracket. The crazy bracket. And the style bracket. Which eventually, when we get far enough, will bring us to the bounce on it crazy style Deo ultimate list. So, I did a random draw. The numbers that you saw the order that they were presented is the order that it happened. And because this was bracketed 2 weeks ago, I can't... I know some of the areas where some of the heavy hitters, as you might call them, are. But I don't remember who exactly. So it'll be kind of a mystery to all of us. Except I now realise, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to do that and then do that. And then everybody at sort of on the side panel will be visible, which is awkward. Right. Just so people can see it, because I think all that stuff they didn't actually see. Because again, this is what organising it and me not trialing it is done. So, first up, as I double check. Oh no, great. Oh, I see, because it's not. No, that's not. That's supposed to be full screen. I think it's because that's full screen. No, it isn't. Great. So I've got to switch every time. Genius. So, first up on the bounce bracket, we have Billy from Black Christmas taking on Samara from the Ring series.
Oh, that's interesting. By the way, it hasn't really been discussed what we're basing this on. It's not. We know it's not who would win in a fight. It's not that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's just preference in general and their effectiveness as a villain and anything that comes with that. Like, I would say I like Billy more than Samara because I think he's more. Obviously, Samara's more iconic and people know that image immediately and instantly. But the thing I love about Billy is that he's this really rare case of he's a slasher villain who's never identified. If we're talking about the original movie, he does the obscene phone calls and he kills people in the house. And we know that he's in the house somewhere, but he's never found and he's never identified. And the movie ends with us knowing he's still in the house and they don't know that. Because they think, if I remember correctly, they think it's Keir Delay. And he's been taken care of. So when the movie ends is when it's revealed to us no, we never knew who he was, and he's still alive, and he's still in the house somewhere. And that's something that's just so forever chilling to me in a way that The Ring never really got me. But I do think Samara's very effective, but you guys can argue against that by all means. Whoever's next.
I feel Samara's sort of the semi-obvious choice here because it feels like she has the easier lineage of not being immortal, but like the one that's going to make it through longer. Because some of the stuff she's been through in the franchise, but still managed to come back. Whereas I don't think we got too much enough of Billy. Okay, it was sort of left as a mystery as to who it is, and maybe they're doing stuff, but I feel like old age may actually catch up with them at some point.
Chris?
I'm leaning towards Samara because with her, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaning towards Samara because in the movie they do what they think is going to stop it. Like, for example, in Poltergeist, when they, put the skull back, it fixes everything. They try the same thing with Samara, and it doesn't work. Like, once that doesn't work, you're kind of out of ideas.
That is pretty cool, how it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Samara at the end, she's like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm ready to kill now. I don't care. Thanks, I guess. So that's what I would kind of go for, because I feel like it's a little more unsettling if you have somebody that, like, there is a clear path to resolve it and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing that I was worried about right when we first started this idea has come to fruition in the first battle of the entire contest. Because if two have gone with Samara, and now two have gone with Billy as well. You know what Samara's all about. Can't do anything really to stop it. Once it's set into motion, it's gonna happen. It's hard to silence someone that you don't know. And I feel that gives Billy the advantage.
I suppose if we were to break the tie, I would say that my brother's argument in favor of Samara's whole because that's like the ghost thing is, oh, if we just solve the problem, they can rest. To see that like stopped in its tracks and it's like, no, not even that's gonna work, is a really cool twist on the ghost story that I don't feel like we've seen that turn before. So they're both effective in that sense of they kind of twist what we typically know would be the end of both of these characters, and neither one goes that way. So it's actually really cool they were paired together. But if we had to break the tie, I would say I'm convinced enough that Samara could take it.
Majority rules. Samara moves on.
It's annoying because I'm getting my screen share. It's like not wanting to. I can't reveal it to the people watching. So all that PowerPoint presentation was probably actually just done for you guys, which is annoying.
Barely done for me.
Well, so I have to basically switch back to Discord in order for it to show up on screen for people. Anyway, so forgiveness about that, but that's why we're trying to cram it all in one go, I guess. So, next up, hang on, I'll copy Samara over. The numbers by them don't mean anything. It's just I wanted sort of the equivalent of a east, west, north, and south sort of thing. So the numbers actually don't mean anything. It's not like an upset that 16 beat 1. It's just whatever. So next up, match number 2. We have Max Cady from the Cape Fears versus Dracula.
No offense to Robert Mitchum, but when I think of Max Cady, I think of De Niro's. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
They both bite people. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, this one's hard because it's like, because Dracula's so iconic, and we're not really specifying which one. Like if I had to specify a Dracula for me, I might say Christopher Lee in his first movie, Horror of Dracula, or just Dracula, depending on where you are.
Hmm.
And I love that he's like silent. So yeah, there's too much. I honestly want to make this quick. I love Max Cady as a character, and I love and I love the idea of the movie. And like I said, De Niro's performance especially really stands out. This is a case where, and I don't think this will work in Dracula's favor every time, but in this particular circumstance, Dracula's too iconic that I have to say him. Like I said, especially since I'm thinking of Christopher Lee specifically, for me, I would lean Dracula. So this for me, this one's kind of like, I love that character, but this one's kind of an easy one.
Yeah, I feel just like the charm factor that Dracula has would have him over Max. Really, he just sort of finds some way to get sort of on Max's good side and then whack.
I'm gonna disagree.
Oh,
I think I think Dracula's iconic, but Dracula normally is very tunnel vision. He hangs around high society. It's usually high society people that are threatened. Max Cady could threaten anybody at any time if you just come across them.
Mm-hmm.
If you come across them in the wrong environment, you're done. If you're poor or homeless, Dracula could give a shit. He always is used any incarnation I've ever seen. He's always around high society people, and he's very tunnel vision about who exactly he's going after.
of of all the Draculas I've seen, I've never even thought about that, and it's very true.
I would say the one exception is Blade Trinity, but we don't talk about that for a Dracula movie.
And just for the record, do you still say Oldman's your favorite Dracula?
Oldman's Dracula is my favorite movie, my favorite Dracula movie.
Oh, and I guess it's on to you.
I mean, it sucks for Max Cady drawing Dracula in the first round. I really wanted to push him further in the competition. And another thing I'm going to judge too, I'm going to judge this from a different perspective because I didn't grow into horror until much later than everybody else on the panel. Obviously, it's Horror Nights connection is going to have something to say when it comes to my thought process when it comes to these battles. And even though Dracula Untold was the worst house we've ever done in the history of the event, he's got to win. Has to.
That was a good that was a really good argument for Katie.
I mean, if you think about it, like, you're not going to come across a Dracula really, but you can come across Max Cady at any time. You guys have been to the movies enough. There's some loud, obnoxious dude in there that you never know if when you leave, if you're going to find him in the parking lot.
The worst thing Max Cady ever did was interrupt Problem Child. Nobody should be
interrupted.
Yeah.
How extreme is that? My God. Right, so I'll remember to switch it over to the live view quicker than I did on the last one. Because I keep forgetting it's not in view. So we'll get back to Samara and Dracula later. But next up in our first rounds, we have Pumpkinhead 1-on-1 with the Armitage family from Get Out.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That would make an incredible movie because Pumpkinhead is a revenge demon.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, it becomes a revenge movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to see this movie. Well, I will say this. and I'll say this about myself too, because I've done it. I've done it in a video on this channel. Pumpkinhead can be very underrated. Because we're talking the first two, I think. The only other one I've seen is the third movie with Doug Bradley, and it's awful. But Pumpkinhead 1 and 2 are really good. And I love him as a character because he's a revenge demon, he's so brutal. And I feel like even after he got a tragic origin story in the second movie, it did succeed in making him sympathetic, but it doesn't change the fact of how brutal he is and how brutal his kills are. It's hard for me not to say him, but the Armitage family also together is like one huge weapon with several different parts. Oh my god. Well, the thing about it though is if we were doing it, if Pumpkinhead were in a movie with the Armitage family, that movie would end with Pumpkinhead killing them because that's what he does to people like the Armitage family. But like I said, I don't want to make it the who would win in a fight thing. But I'll throw a bone to Pumpkinhead, but I'm curious what everybody else says. I don't know how familiar the rest of the panel even is with Pumpkinhead because he's not like. I think people know that movie's existence, but I don't know how many if it's like.
Yeah, I had to do some sort of researching for it and whatever, and yeah, certainly when I vaguely remember thinking this could be an interesting first round because of the sort of the pairing of it sort of is kind of fitting sort of thing. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like. I'm trying to work out whether Pumpkinhead actually might get sort of. I know it's not who would win in a fight, but like. I somehow feel the Armitage family just have the advantage with the tea. Because they're so polite and that's when they get you. I feel that might be more of a sort of. That might be more lethal than sort of Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead might off them in the end, but I feel they have the advantage because they aren't fueled by revenge, or they aren't fueled by revenge. They're fueled by greed and not ethnic cleansing or stuff like that. So like they're the ones that get you first before Pumpkinhead even has a chance. So
I'm gonna go with Pumpkinhead, and I'm gonna make the same argument for the Armitage family that I did for Dracula, and I'll just say no one on this call has to worry about the Armitage family. We're not what they're looking for. However, everybody on this call has done something shitty to somebody else, whether intentional or not. So Pumpkinhead could be conjured at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give it to Pumpkinhead because Pumpkinhead can affect everybody, and the Armitages are going to leave me alone just by looking at me. Not just for the color of my skin, but because I'm fat and out of shape and I'm useless to them.
You could have a good eye. Stephen Root might want you.
Maybe. But I'll still give it to Pumpkinhead.
It's tough because, number one, I almost just literally choked right in front of everyone. Number two, now I'm having to literally charge my phone as we do the show. The Armitage family would have the same issues that the Purgers would have if they were in this competition, which they're not. But, yeah, all compelling arguments. I was going to go with the Armitage family because I don't have much knowledge on Pumpkinhead as a character. But based upon just what I've heard from the panel alone, it sounds like it wouldn't be difficult to imagine Pumpkinhead being the one to be victorious in the end of the day. So I'm going to concur. Pumpkinhead.
I'm psyched. So Pumpkinhead just moved on?
Yes.
Nice.
He's in. We'll find out who he faces in just a second, because next up, it's Cujo versus the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
Wow.
I just want to see that interaction.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know where to start. um. Okay. Well, I suppose they could make. Well, no. Okay. So Binks was already human, and then he turned into a cat. So it's not like they could make. Well, they could make Cujo human, right?
Potentially.
Thus making him mortal. Well, he's already mortal. He just has rabies. um. Oh, it's Halloween. I'll say the Sanderson sisters. I don't know.
I mean, when the battle is basically magic versus rabies, I feel magic wins.
Yes.
I don't need to say too much more. Sorry, Cujo, but you're getting put down.
Yeah, I don't think we can ignore that there's a supernatural element at play with the Sanderson sisters and Cujo. If you just have a shotgun handy, that's probably going to solve your problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, literally.
I'll roll with the Sanderson sisters too.
As I say, literally the only reason that story's as long as it is because the characters are stuck in a car.
Yeah.
It's a great story and it's a great movie, but yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that Cujo's winning this. Sanderson sisters, of course.
I was going to make an argument for Cujo, and I was like, I don't have one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say the Sanderson sisters are people, and you could try to reason with them, where Cujo, there is no reasoning or finding a solution. It's just run like hell and hope he dies before you do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Just reveal it there for.
But if you were in a situation where they were fighting, the Sanderson sisters could just transform Cujo into something else and be done with it.
Yeah.
You could turn him into a rabid frog or something.
Something non-threatening.
Yeah.
Or an inanimate object.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Right.
I imagine when I think of the interaction between them in my head, I think of Sarah Jessica Parker's character like wanting to pet Cujo and be his friend.
Probably.
So, next up, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon versus the Mummy. Oh, classics. One.
Universal classic monster. Go.
Both of them just want a woman. So
Yep.
well, when I brought him up, I was thinking of Karloff's mummy, even though Karloff isn't really the mummy people remember. If we're thinking like wrapped in like, the cloth and doing like it'd be like Lon Chaney's mummy.
Yep.
But I imagine a lot of people think of Arnold Vosloo as well, who technically also counts. But yeah, I guess based on like just like having this iconic image in your head and something that's like terrifying because it's so otherworldly, and because we know it now because the creature from the Black Lagoon is an iconic image. But if you are like at the time the movie came out and you see that image, it's pretty unexpected in a very startling way. And his kills are brutal because he has claws.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably lean, yeah, because at the end of the day, the mummy just wants a woman. I think that Creature from the Black Lagoon is more, yeah, because it's interesting that what you think of as an iconic image of like the mummy isn't much of what we originally got. Karloff's like the mummy, as you would think of him, monster-like for like the very beginning and the very end for like a total of 30 seconds. Otherwise, he looks like Karloff. He's got like that stare, but Dracula has that too. So I'm gonna say Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, I feel sort of as long as you aren't on the mummy's radar, it's sort of, you know, if you're not on the radar, he ain't interested. Whereas the creature from the Bat Lagoon does seem more confrontational in terms of in general.
There is one bit I forgot about that's great, but I'm still sticking with Creature from the Black Lagoon. But it's when Karloff wakes up and walks out of the room. We don't really see it. We just see like the last bit of cloth going out of the doorway. But the fact that the guy that saw him leave descended into madness and basically laughed in a straitjacket for 10 years until he died is really cool.
The power of bandages. Chris?
I haven't seen Karloff or Cheney's Mummy. Do they involve curses as well, like Vosloo's did?
Pretty much. It's not as like explicit about it. I don't remember, at least that I remember.
Well, it sounds like, I haven't seen a Creature from Black Lagoon either, but it sounds like the Creature from the Black Lagoon you would have to encounter head on to be a threat, whereas a curse is far more reaching. You can curse somebody that's all the way across the world.
If I remember correctly with Karloff, it was something like something was scrawled in his tomb that was like keeping him at rest, and then somebody like intentionally like scraped it away. Something like that. It's kind of vague to me, but I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if we're looking at using a curse I feel like is more. You could do more with that. Like you can use a curse to give somebody a fate worse than death.
Yeah, like laughing in a straitjacket for 10 years.
Yeah, that comes to mind.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to do the same thing I said I was gonna do before, and I'm going to have to judge it based on my Horror Nights experience. I've encountered both a few times, one more so than the other. However, at the end of the day, one was my first scare I ever got in a house, and one's extremely repetitive I had to deal with a couple years ago. So you decide which one I'm answering, but my answer is going to be the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
And what did Ashley say?
I went with Creature as well. So he progresses, I think.
So 3-1.
That one was surprisingly difficult.
Let's see how difficult the next one is. As Chucky goes up against Sam from Trick or Treat.
Oh, I got some words.
Well, if I don't say Sam on Halloween, he's going to kill me. But we're not shooting this on Halloween.
Correct.
So maybe we're good.
The advantage of pre-tape.
I didn't take any chances. I'm wearing my hoodie I got in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm not taking any chances.
I mean, 2018 Street of the Year, baby. That's all I got to say. I'm good.
See, this one's difficult because I grew up on the Chucky movies, so they have like I'm really attached to them. And the original Child's Play might be one of my favorite horror movies, period. But I love Sam as an image and what he stands for, and just the subtle way they show us that he's immortal. Like when we see him in the flashback and stuff like that, and he's just hanging out. But I might just be too. It also feels unfair that Chucky has an entire franchise in a 3-season TV series, and Sam has one movie. But I'm probably gonna have to lean Chucky, even though I love Trick or Treat, and I love what Sam stands for as far as this holiday goes, and the fact that he literally kills you for not for not treating the holiday with respect is great. But I think I'm too attached to Chucky.
Weirdly, I think Sam just seems the more sinister of the two, because Chucky's just sort of legit wants to kill you. Sam, if you're good to him, he's fine. But the majority of people probably wouldn't be. So they're probably going to be even. I feel they're going to go for an even more gruesome thing than what Chucky might do just with a knife. Predominantly. So weirdly, just because I feel Sam tugs on the heartstrings more to really sort of get under your skin, I'm willing to give him the edge. Even though
I'm gonna
Mark
go with
Hamill's
Chucky.
Chucky, I feel more attached to weirdly than the original stuff.
I'm gonna go with Chucky because Chucky's just looking for a body, and that could belong to anybody,
Yeah.
not just Andy after part 3.
True.
Whereas Sam, as long as you respect the holiday, that you're fine. But I feel like there's also more threatening forces in Sam's world than just Sam.
Yeah.
Because you have Anna Paquin and her pack of werewolves. You've got, well, Dylan Baker before he died.
The zombie kid.
Yeah, the zombie kid. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Chucky. It's a shame. It's funny that they're both little because I was gonna make the argument against Chucky that you could just dark helmet him if he came at you, but you could do that with either one, I guess. But no, I'll go with Chucky because I feel like his motives are more selfish because he's looking for a body, he's looking to trade out.
Mm-hmm.
So not only, does Chucky kill you, but he's in your body, so who knows what he's going to do to everybody around you if he succeeds.
Oh God, that's
Whereas
true.
with Sam, you can avoid Sam by just not being a dick on Halloween. Or I'm sorry, being a dick to Halloween.
Well, have to judge on my background. Like I said, my first year working Revenge of Chucky, there was a scare zone for Trick or Treat that I really enjoyed. They made it into a house, and I hated it. I have not seen the original Child's Play movies. I've only seen the newer stuff. Never watched the TV show. Horrible house in Hollywood. Always loved Trick or Treat. Movie's really good. I feel that, yeah, as long as you don't disrespect the holiday, which, by the way, happy Halloween, audience dudes!
Segue.
You know it. Heart wants what it wants. Thing is, I will state that it's hard to go against Sam for me because I love the movie and I love the character so much. But everybody has so many great, compelling arguments about Chucky. And how he's very selfish. And basically, he could go after anybody. But my counter argument is, especially nowadays, a lot of people are not kind to the holiday of Halloween. So there'd be a lot more victims now than there would have been before. I know that this is going to lean towards Chucky because I can tell the way that this is going, but I'm giving my vote to Sam.
Well, I think something else that stood out about Chucky that I was thinking about while sitting here was when you were talking about how basically nobody's off limits. That includes him trying to kill his wife and child too.
Exactly.
also you can make an argument for Chucky. Chucky takes somebody out just by existing. The guy that had the heart attack in part 3.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
just
yeah,
his
true.
appearance alone was enough to do that guy in. Chucky didn't even have to do anything.
And as I am a testament to it, Chucky also deals with the world of cursing people too.
So literally the name of one of his movies.
So I think even though it's a tie, I think probably sort of in reflection, probably Chucky just about gets the edge.
I want to go with Sam, but 2018 represent, Chucky goes through.
Yeah, and also I think just the fact that we're doing this and that we did all this stuff in October, I think Sam would appreciate that. I don't think Sam would feel like he has to win this, right? He'd just be glad we're doing it.
I think Sam's very appreciative of me in general, so we're good.
I really don't. As cool as the candy bar with a razor in it that is his weapon, I wouldn't want it used on me. As much as I love it as a weapon, as a concept of a weapon.
Oh, lollipop? Yes, no.
yes, that too. Poor Leslie Bibb, she got it bad.
Well, I mean, she was kind of a raging see you next Tuesday to Halloween, so.
Yeah, you don't take them down that fast.
First mistake.
You just don't.
We've already been asked when we can start decorating for Halloween, so Sam won't be coming to my house.
There's a reason we're filming this today, and obviously he's not coming to mine.
And Sam's also going to get the guy that stole your sign last year. So.
Yeah, good.
Right, so next first round match. The Wolfman. Head to head with Jean Jacket from No.
No.
Ooh. This one's easy for me.
This is very easy.
I love all the Wolfman movies. I especially love the Joe Johnston one for a number of reasons. I think it's very, very underrated. But well, not so much the new one. Sorry, Lee Winnell. But Lawrence Talbot's
Are you talking
also...
about the Del Toro one?
What's that?
Are you talking about the Del Toro one?
The Del Toro one. Oh,
No,
yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking Guillermo. I didn't go to Benicio. Lawrence Talbot is an innocent guy that's cursed. He doesn't know he's doing it when he's doing it. That's how werewolves work. But I was saying when we were compiling this list, Jean Jacket is horrifying.
Yeah.
That's one of the scariest movie monsters in some time to me. I'm gonna say Jean Jacket with ease, to not disrespect a classic like The Wolfman, but Jean Jacket is fucking scary.
Yeah. If we're doing this as a murder thing, Jean Jacket has the motive, the means, and the opportunity.
If we were doing who would win in a fight, Jean Jacket would win this whole thing, and we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Yeah. No, but like
Also...
even in that sense, I feel that they're sort of a more menacing threat than Wolfman is, because as long as the moon's all right, you're good.
I'm gonna throw what they call in Big Brother world a sympathy vote. I'm gonna throw a sympathy vote to the Wolfman because I feel like Jean Jacket's gonna run away with this, and I'll make the argument that the Jean Jacket is clearly a threat. You can tell looking at Jean Jacket that they're a threat, but the Wolfman could be somebody you know, and if you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're done. And they don't even have motive. It's just survival, animalistic instinct. Like, you couldn't reason with that person once they transformed. You're screwed. That could be your best friend. And you'd never know it until the full moon hit.
That's true.
Well, if you
Whereas, you look at Jean Jacket, you're like, oh, no, that's not friendly at all. I'm not going to be friends with that. No way in hell.
Well, if you look to the
So I
west,
know Jean Jacket will win, but I want the Wolfman to get some cred.
well, if you look to the western sky, you'll see that there is no way that anything is going to be stopping Jean Jacket anytime soon. No matter how much animal instinct you have, you cannot stop Jean Jacket. Yeah, that's a no-brainer right there.
I also love the realization everybody had that Nope's alternate title could have been Don't Look Up.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Rounding off the bounce block, we have The Thing
Oh no.
versus John Ryder.
When I know we mentioned Sean Bean earlier, but obviously when I think John Ryder, Rutger Hauer is who I typically have in mind.
Yeah.
But even so, everything my brother just said about the Wolfman, The Thing. Plus, I'm also trying not to think about this because it's a separate thing. But when we did our top 15 villains list, me and my brother did that video a few years ago. The Thing was on mine, and that was in any movie. That wasn't just horror. But yeah, John Ryder is a really scary character because he's human, but he's like a force of nature. And the way he gets around seems to be supernatural when he's not. He's basically like a living nightmare. But I'm for just everything we already said, I'm gonna say The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing is a living nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it's going to be. In theory, it could be anything. It could be John Ryder. I'd scare the shit out of him probably even more.
I'm going to make the same argument for The Thing that you made for Billy. We don't know if The Thing was stopped.
Yeah.
And if The Thing disguises it well, or disguises itself well enough, you won't know if you stopped it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is kind of no way to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So John Ryder's more realistic. You're more likely to run into him if you're driving down the road. But Thing could be anything, anybody.
Well, the only thing I'll say right now is The Thing could be Jean Jacket too.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
I was going to make that argument if those faced off.
You mean when?
We'll see that argument in round 2. Yeah. Anyway, so
yeah, I feel like those two are going to be one of those instances that nobody would have been surprised to find them in the finals, but they're actually going to meet before that.
Flipthecoin.com. Let's go.
So sticking on this side of the bracket, we move to the crazy wing. Whether these are actually crazy, who knows? Anyway, first up, it's Leprechaun versus Pearl.
Oh wow.
Interesting. Well, Leprechaun has a goal. He wants his gold.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl will just kind of kill you for being in her presence.
Yeah.
And she's so unpredictable. Ask David Cornsweat how unpredictable Pearl is. She says that she loves him, and what is it? Less than 60 seconds later, he's got that pitchfork in him. She stopped Superman. And how old is she supposed to be in X? Like in her going on 90 or something? And she's still doing it?
Mm-hmm.
she's still as deadly in like her 80s or 90s as she was as like a teenager. It's just still offing people. And like I said, seemingly just for being around. So I'd say Pearl, I think. Leprechaun's fun, but yeah, I'll say Pearl.
Yeah, I feel Leprechaun sort of is mischievous but deadly. Pearl's out to kill you. You know, she sort of, once it's in her mind, it ain't gonna get out. Whereas Leprechaun, I feel, could have a change of heart sort of thing. So I feel Pearl is the bigger menace. Partially because it technically took 2 films to get her. And then even then, who knows whether the spirit lives on through Maxine. So
I'm
And
not
what
sure who Pearl is, but I'll go with Pearl because when it comes to Leprechaun, Mike Myers with the flashlight is scarier than Leprechaun himself.
Sweet.
But I do have to give credit. Leprechaun has one of the best final lines before he's killed in the first movie.
you're referring to "Fuck You, Lucky Charms."
I am referring to "Fuck You, Lucky Charms." I wish there was a reason that I needed to use that in my life.
Also, by the way, shout out to Warwick Davis also for making an iconic character, even though we're crushing him right now.
I mean, you know, that's what I feel. As I mentioned, sort of in the preview thing, even though I didn't, I realise now what I should have done is put the window capture, like I've just done, so then people will be actually be able to see it. So I might run through it at the end, you know, for those that didn't get to see it, because of the way I've got it formatted. But yeah, because of what happened with Dylan and like they wanted to make the leprechaun sort of a normal sized person before
Mhm.
they became small. It was like, so why did you cast him there? Other than it's a WWE Studios film, so you basically just did it on purpose, didn't you? Like, uh, anywho, Pearl is for who will she be up
Well,
against? Let's find out. Oh god.
Owen, did you have a take on that?
I think it's
Oh,
hilarious. I'm sitting here watching
because
the
everybody
Pearl
had said
thing on
Pearl, it
that.
was like, well, this is one-sided.
Yeah, I don't think Pearl has anything gold the Leprechaun would need. So yeah, Pearl would just kill you just as much as look at you. So yeah, for sure. Sorry, Dylan.
Nice. Next up, the Creeper
Cool.
versus the Invisible Man.
I want to be sure the Invisible Man doesn't go underrated because the Claude Rains incarnation of him is amazing.
Yes. He did.
Because not only is he like one of the quintessential mad scientists, but he's like, and he's genuinely insane. There's a brutality to that movie. I don't know if people remember or not because it was pre-code. So there is a scene where he beats a cop to death with a bar stool, and in 1933 they showed it. And like, yeah, it's 1933, so it's like he like whacks him with it. But for 1933, it's a pretty brutal scene. And the way he's able to do it with just like a lot of voice work also. Like when we just see like the bike riding away by itself, which is a funny image. But we still get the vibe of his madness. That's just there's a reason that's so iconic. But oh my god, I could wax poetic all day about how much I love the Creeper too. Mainly in the first movie. That opening 15 minutes of Jeepers Creepers is one of my favorite sequences in horror. Just that opening, I watch that opening 15 minutes by itself sometimes, just as like a short film, because it's incredible and so scary and terrifying. And this one's really this. I think this is the hardest one for me. This is the hardest one we've done so far because I love both of these so much. I guess the Invisible Man has a better legacy. That's not even to go into other things about Jeepers Creepers that have tarnished its legacy. Actually, we're already in its legacy, so it didn't even tarnish it. They were already there. Those details, but there's other incarnations like when Vincent Price did it. He was a different character, but his was more of like he was like exacting revenge that he deserved, and then he just kind of went mad at the end, thinking about the power he could have. But Claude Rains was just offing people.
At the same time, though, I
Um,
feel. I mean, okay, it's called the Hollow Man rather than the Invisible Man, but that's a way more crazed than I think we've seen him. And then I guess something equivalent to the Invisible Man we got it with Lee Whannell's version a few years back.
yeah,
You know,
an amazing use of allegory in Lee Whannell's movie too
yeah.
for the trauma of abusive relationships. That was brilliant. And yeah, I love Hollow Man, and I'll stand by it. Brolin, when he was promoting weapons, Brolin was out here hating on Hollow Man. And it's like, like, dude, no, it's fucking awesome. So if I were to say The Creeper, it would just be for the first 15 minutes of the first movie, even though the whole movie's good. And the ending with Justin Long screaming and him flying away with him is great. Um, but yeah, when you think of the Invisible Man and you think of Lee Whannell's movie and Hollow Man and stuff, also on top of what Claude Rains was doing, it's yeah, it's the Invisible Man. It's hard not to say that, so I'll say the Invisible Man.
I feel sort of the Invisible Man is sort of more sort of you feel that the Creeper sort of has more of a it's hard because like I feel he has more of a reason for doing it. Whereas if you catch the Invisible Man on a bad day, you're done. Because if he's that mad, he'll just do it for do its sake and say it's an experiment. Like I feel he's the more menacing of the two.
Not
And
not to mention a continuous theme in Invisible Man movies is that he has a god complex. That's fucking dangerous.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Invisible Man because when you're invisible, you could do so many more things than murder. You can stalk. You can sneak up on people. Like you're literally invisible.
Yeah,
And like I don't know, the creeper, you would have an idea of where the creeper's coming from because you could see the creeper. The Invisible Man could walk right up to you and you never know it.
yeah. I
And
love the way.
he could blow in your ear, he could blow in your face, he could like whack you with a stick. So the Invisible Man literally, if he wanted to, the Invisible Man could literally drive you to madness before killing you.
And I don't know if you saw Lee Whannell's movie with Elizabeth Moss, but a very common theme throughout that movie is him framing people,
Mm-hmm.
where he literally slits somebody's throat and hands Elizabeth Moss the knife,
Yeah.
and he slaps a little girl and makes the little girl think that she did it, and shit like that.
Like like you brought up Hollow Man earlier. Like look at the means they had to go to fight him in Hollow Man.
Yeah,
Like all the science things they had to do just to be able to see him.
yeah.
to know where he's at, and still it almost didn't work. And you were talking about Josh Brolin earlier. I've had the thought, while Kevin Bacon's great in Hollow Man, imagine if Brolin played that character.
Especially today.
Yeah,
That'd be really good.
yeah. I have such a I have such a complicated relationship with Josh Brolin. Like, I feel like whenever he's cast in something, it's kind of boring because I know he's gonna crush it. But the fact that I know he's gonna crush it makes me want to see it too.
Yeah.
But it's like they pick him, and I'm like, oh, that's boring. But it's like it's only boring because I know he's gonna kill it.
Yeah. Oh, and do you have a take?
I really feel like this is Griffin's win.
All right.
The Invisible Man progresses through, I think.
Yes.
Next up, the Predator. Oh, who's he going to be up against? Mrs. Mott from Hand that Rocks the Cradle.
Oh my.
Which one is the truly ugliest motherfucker?
Well, they're both predators in different ways.
Yes.
Now, mind you, well, okay. I like Mrs. Mott for the anecdote that Owen has.
Oh Jesus.
And that character is horrible.
Yes.
The having the baby get used to her breastfeeding it, the way she frames Ernie Hudson, she is deeply fucked up. In a way that thrillers like that, it pushes the envelope more for that kind of thriller, especially that I think we were used to at that time. Like, she's on kind of another level of that kind of thriller. But, like I said, the Predator, I guess it's another one of those things where the iconic status is just too heavy. Of not just the Predator, but like several images. Mainly the head with the spines attached and all that. That's yeah, and the way that it takes like it's like a survival in the wilderness story that's also a monster movie. There's just like layers to that I really appreciate. So I'm probably gonna have to say The Predator, but The Predator in the original movie Predator, not Shane Black's movie that he directed, the one that he's in. God, that's confusing. I'm gonna say The Predator, but Mrs. Mott is not somebody I'd ever want to meet. So I think that goes a long way as well.
The advantage I always feel that Predator has across a lot of them is he's willing to die as well.
Yeah.
As seen from, how practically nearly all the films end anyway, yet alone the first one, where it's like, yeah, put the self-destruct thing on. Let's make it fun. So just for that alone, whereas Mrs. Mott, actually sort of wants to keep her life, Predator's the more deadly, I feel. So I go with him.
While I acknowledge that Mrs. Mott's motives are fucked up and her methods are fucked up, I can't be non-biased, or I cannot be non-biased with this. I fucking love everything about Predator. I love his look. I love his laugh. I love his noise he makes. He's fucking invisible.
Yeah.
I love everything. The Predator is probably my favorite movie monster of all time. I fucking love everything about him. I feel like you could put him in a McDonald's commercial and make it work for how scary it'd be. Like, I love everything about the Predator so much. I can't go against him. I'd probably have Predator win the whole thing because I think he's the coolest motherfucker in the field.
I also completely forgot he already brings invisibility back into the conversation.
Yeah. And he has science behind it. His alien technology. The Predator is just so fucking badass. And I could repeatedly watch the last half hour of Predator for the rest of my life.
Not to mention that Prey showed us that not only does he have science in any era.
Like Predator 2 is okay. It's not great. But the idea, one Predator is bad enough. But like a whole army of them, like, no fucking way. But no, I absolutely love Predator. I can't go against him.
So, I know Mrs. Mott's in here because of me, as it was mentioned a minute ago. And yes, to this day, that still irks me. But, again, I throw out my reference. Predator may be cool, Chris, but he can't make a good maze. So, sorry about that. Predator has to win, though. There's not going to happen. The chance of having an invisibility battle in a later round intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try to see if we can make that happen.
Before we move on, just for the uninitiated, the short version is basically, was it your stepmom
Yes.
that Hand the Rocks to the Cradle basically made you petrified of for a night?
I literally hid behind the couch. My dad had to leave my stepmom's house in the middle of the night and take me home to his house, which was like, 35 minutes away.
So,
Also, before we move on, I feel like we're getting really good stuff here. Since we don't have a chat to tell us and we've had to jump around a little bit, I just want to make sure that we are still recording.
yeah,
I'm just okay.
the stream is still
For some
running.
reason, I was getting nervous.
The stream is still running.
For those of you that are watching this live, watching this on when it's filmed, we will probably have a chance to discuss this sometime in the next week or so. That's what it looks like, potentially.
Yeah.
My Horror Nights
Some
withstanding.
Point, yeah, some point in early November-ish.
Yeah, right after my Horror Nights excursion is over.
Right. So, next up, Abigail
Oh boy.
versus Oogie Boogie.
No. Disney ain't getting through the second round.
Well, let's discuss what Oogie Boogie does exactly.
A phrase I never thought I would ever hear on a podcast.
Wait, okay, so he has the gambling problem.
I love that you labeled it a gambling problem. Which is funny because I just replayed all the Kingdom Hearts games recently, and in the first Kingdom Hearts, the boss fight, he's throwing dice.
Of course he is.
So even Kingdom Hearts recognized the gambling problem.
Lord.
So he kidnapped Santa.
To be fair, that's a pretty capital crime.
Yeah. He's easy to defeat. You just have to pull his cloth off and stomp on him enough, or drop him in the right place. So yeah, I get okay. Okay. Again, I don't want to go against his iconic status because of course he is, and I have nothing against him. I do think he's a cool villain. Abigail's really fun, though. Alicia Ware's performance, especially for her age, and the fact that she's Irish, and I would have never guessed that in a million years. This is another one where I just really don't know how to approach it. I almost want to defer to somebody else and come back to me. Is that legal?
Considering the fact you're the one that came up with this gimmick in the first place, yeah.
What do you got, Ashley?
I was gonna say Abigail because I feel that she has the sort of the better sort of charm and whatever that I feel, if you went up against them, you wouldn't stand a chance. Especially because the way at least in Abigail, as opposed to, if you want to call it, Dracula's daughter from the 30s and whatever, even though she wasn't called Abigail and whatever. I feel at least the depiction that we saw in the modern one was very much like your 28 days later compared to Night of the Living Dead. As in, she's fast and she will pounce.
Yeah.
Rather than like regular Dracula, who will, be slow and calm about it. Abigail just like, run, get you.
And Abigail's got the thing where she can like puppeteer people, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'd say her because, like, as iconic as Oogie Boogie is, I feel sort of he's the only a threat to those that are sort of things within his realm.
Yeah, he
rather
doesn't. He
than
doesn't
in
even leave his
general.
lair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Abigail because Abigail moves very, very quickly. And I just have the image of those two literally having a face off. Oogie Boogie's not gonna be able to waddle his fat ass away fast enough. It ain't gonna happen. And also, while I enjoy Oogie Boogie, I feel like Abigail is more action oriented, whereas Oogie Boogie, forgive the expression, Oogie Boogie does a lot of standing around and huffing his own farts. So to me, he's a lot of a all bark, no bite villain.
Yeah, his entire song is about, hey, I'm me.
Yeah, it's like you're cool, Oogie Boogie, but like Abigail's ripping that sack of bugs up fast.
Yeah, we don't want to, for the Nightmare Before Christmas fans out there who are probably angry. We don't want to discount him as a villain at all in his own story.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like I said, kidnapping Santa Claus is a pretty capital crime that nobody else on this list had the balls to do. Not even Jean Jacket or the Thing.
and the Easter Bunny was collateral damage in the whole mess.
Yeah. Yeah, the Easter Bunny was involved in a mistake of mistaken identity.
I just sit back and just listen to this. That's all I can do, because these battles, it's like I don't really have much to say. This is Abigail all day, every day.
Yeah, I'm going to officially give mine to Abigail as well.
Moving on. If I can press paste, there we go. So next up, as we finish off the crazy wing, Kevin Wendell Crumb from Split Glass, the Shymalans, versus David from the Lost Boys.
Oh God.
Interesting. If Kevin were bit by a vampire, would that be a new personality? Or would only one of his personalities be affected, or would all his personalities be affected?
Oh God. That might be his advantage.
Well, the main threat of Kevin is the Beast.
Right.
Dennis is the one that's like the oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the one that's like the smartest, I guess, the most like clever, I guess. That's not what I'm looking for, but it's in the direction.
Intelligent?
Um, he can scheme.
Yeah, I was gonna say scheming seems to be his repertoire.
Hmm.
Um, but David's another one where David's iconic.
Right.
Like if you were to ask a certain pretty large demographic to think of a vampire, they'd probably think of David pretty quickly.
A lot of people would.
And The Lost Boys is a movie I'm very much attached to. McAvoy's performance in Split specifically is incredible. And that's like, I feel like that's even putting it mildly. So it's a great character. And I love that Split is a villain origin story without us realizing it. Um, but I think it's another case of David, somebody is a character I have too much of an attachment to. Because yeah, if you were to ask me like who's your favorite movie vampire, he's probably one of the very first ones I would think of. And if you want to talk about like a scary factor or a threat factor, those point of view shots when they're flying, and the fact that they can pull a guy up so hard he brings a car door with him, there's quite a threat there. And once again, he has like the charm where it's like if you're a guy like Michael, you want to be in his crowd. And that's basically what the whole vampire vibe is being sucked into it. So yeah, I would say I'm pushing myself towards David, I think, but I think Kevin's an amazing character by an amazing performance, brought to life by an amazing performance.
Yeah, I feel because of the amount of personalities that Kevin has, there's too many that would sort of be ones that you'd be safe with to counteract the ones that you'd be screwed over by. Whereas David again sort of has that sort of charm and the way that he has about him that I feel you'd be got by him first before you even got round to the right personality from Kevin.
I feel like David looks like a threat. Like on the outset, he looks like he would be a threat. With Kevin, you may not know until you watch the personality split.
Yeah, like how literally like the first scene is he gets in the car and shuts the door, and Anya Taylor-Joy just thinks he's a guy that has the wrong car
Yeah,
before he attacks.
yeah. Whereas if David walks up, you know he's bad news.
Yeah. Another thing we learn in his very first scene. It's like even when he just looks human, it's like this guy is bad.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's more of a threat or more of a scary environment when it's somebody that you believe you can trust at first and is unassuming versus somebody that just looks like bad news from across the room. So I tend to lean toward Kevin.
Well, I can see that. Owen?
I would love to go with Kevin here too, but he's unpredictable. You don't know literally what you see is what you're actually going to get. But I don't know. It's just something about David that just like tells me that even if he only got to one of the personalities, it'd be enough. Like, it would somehow reverberate through the entire body to realize that even just taking care of one person or one mindset would be enough to do enough damage that Kevin wouldn't be a threat anymore. So I'm going to go with David.
I would say, but then again, there is a big argument to be made for when Kevin is the Beast.
The Beast would stop David dead in his tracks.
Yeah, because he actually takes on a new physical form as the Beast.
But if David bit the personality of the Beast, I don't necessarily think it would matter in the long run. But only if he got that personality. If he got anything else, he'd be in trouble.
It's a matter of what David would do, because we know he can. Well, I was gonna say he can bite to change you, but the only time we see him change, I think, is Michael, and he just has him drink his blood. He doesn't actually bite him. Whenever he bites anybody in the movie, it's to kill.
Right. Because if he disabled the Beast, he'd be fair game. But if he didn't, then he'd be in trouble.
Are we stuck? Are we 2-2? Right.
There's arguments for both.
I'll push for David, because David does what some Bond henchmen have been able to do, where he's a bigger threat than the big bad is.
Right, for sure.
Like, I think most people be more afraid of David than Edward Herman.
No, for sure.
And it's not just because Susan was watching Gilmore Girls and I saw him in a funny hat golfing. It has nothing to do with it.
I've heard him referenced through, like, in the context of Gilmore Girls so many times. It's like I've never seen.
What do you think of? The Lost Boys, Gilmore Girls, or Richie Rich's dad? Those are the three things that come to mind with Edward Herman.
And he's the narrator in the opening scene of The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
So David takes that one?
Yep. He
And
officially moved according to the brackets I'm seeing on my phone right now.
that one was tough.
Next up, the Xenomorph
Oh, Lord.
from 1979 Alien versus Pinhead.
My dad's worst enemy. I'll tell the story.
Well,
Don't worry.
I already know who I'm choosing,
Same.
but I want to give a little bit of love for, once again, just Pinhead being Pinhead is more of an iconic image than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got iconic lines like, it's a waste of good suffering, and do I look like a person that cares what God thinks, and I have such sights to show you. He's got like endless quotes. But in the first movie, he's in it for like 30 seconds. In the second movie, he's basically an anti-hero. The third and fourth movie is kind of him at his most unleashed. My second favorite Hellraiser movie is Inferno, and he's just James Remar the whole movie. He reveals himself like at the end. It's like, oh, by the way, I've been Pinhead the whole time. But the Xenomorph is like, you know what gets me the most about the Xenomorph, honestly, is the fucking blood acid. The blood acid is so unfair in a fight. It's like, that's just I love how formidable of a villain that alone makes it, let alone everything else, and the way it grows so quickly, and the way it can move silently and come from above or below. I'm saying the Xenomorph pretty easily here, not to discredit Pinhead's iconic status, but he's only been unleashed like a few times in a very long franchise. So yeah.
The fact as well that the Xenomorph can get you even when it's born.
Yeah.
Like, you're never safe. Okay, it might get you, you know, when it's crawling through the vents and things like that. But it might just John hurt you.
Yeah.
Because when
The blood acid
when
for-
anything
for I was-
happens that's like a chest burst monster, I just call it a John Hurt. I don't call it Alien or Xenomorph. It's the John Hurt moment. Even when it's done for comedy effect in like Red Dwarf, it's like that's the John Hurt moment. So yeah, Xeno is OP.
I feel like the xenomorph is the only monster on this list, and I could be wrong, so I don't know all of them. But I feel like the xenomorph is the only entity on this list that can kill you just by you trying to kill it. Like it could just bleed on you and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
Yeah, like there's no. You can't. You'd have to find a way to take it out where you were completely in the clear. Like if you stab it, it'll bleed on you. If you blow it up, blood will splatter, and it will kill you that way too. Like the xenomorph can get you from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
And like Predator, it's a really fucking cool looking monster.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw one as a child with no context, and it was nightmare inducing. I had no idea what it was, and it was terrifying.
Not to mention that when it opens its mouth and you think it can kill you, something jumps out of its mouth that can kill you by itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kung Pao kind of neutered that concept as far as a threat, but it's still there.
Well, I have encountered the xenomorph before. I have pictures with the xenomorph, actually. Thank you. I remember the first time I saw the xenomorph in actuality was a part of the Great Movie Ride. And that's when I was introduced to Alien and the character itself. And like I said before, I hate the house. I thought it was absolutely terrible. But it did force my dad to face off against the xenomorph, and it made me laugh hysterically. So I'm sorry, Doug Bradley, you ain't moving on.
Just like Blackcraft Wrestling.
Dang it! You made the reference before I could. I was like, Blackcraft says hello.
Didn't make it.
I guess if you wanted to, the one argument you could make with Pinhead was an argument I made earlier. I don't remember for who, but Pinhead could give you a fate worse than death too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
True.
Is the xenomorph like impervious to the puzzle box?
Well, what it's gonna do is it's gonna hook the xenomorph and rip into it, and all that acid blood is gonna go everywhere.
The definition of setting up your own demise.
Something that then will officially be deadlier than a Rubik's Cube. Anyway. Next up. As we wrap up, we're getting close to wrapping up the crazy bracket. Or the crazy wing, whatever. The Gremlins versus Eddie Carlson from Single White Female.
Jesus.
Well, she can only stick a high heel into the eye of one before the others attack. So
I think this is pretty one-sided.
she can't really assume the identity of one unless I don't even know.
Maybe the
I think
one,
I can- I
maybe
think
the one
I
with
can-
the lips that had the thing with the guy that was in Star Trek later on in life from Gremlins 2.
Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sum this up by saying that Eddie Carlson is a very scary character in a particular context, And that whole idea, single white female is basically like an adjective or a verb when it comes to people being really fucking creepy and basically trying to assume your life and be you. But you know, the gremlins are unassuming because they start off, approachable and cute, and then they become these hideous monsters. You know what really skeeves me out about the gremlins is the fucking cocoons. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they're deadly and they wreak havoc. So I'll say the gremlins.
Yeah, I just feel
But shout out
'cause
to Jennifer Jason Leigh for a great character nonetheless.
the numbers game is just enough to make Gremlins sort of win this. I want to give more reasoning, but I feel it's a bit one-sided in that respect.
I'll say the Gremlins because the Gremlins can choose to multiply themselves. The Gremlins can strategize when they're not distracted.
Yeah. And that feeling of doom in the first movie when they're at the YMCA and the one goes into the pool and you just know what's coming and how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is no battle here. The Gremlins win.
Alright, so finally we have Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine taking on the Babadook.
Well, they both have I don't know if you call it a mythical status, but well, obviously Harry Warden is actually not Harry Warden. Harry Warden's more of like a symbol because he was Axel in the original movie, and then he was Jensen Ackles. um, I guess you could argue the Babadook is just symbolic. It was kind of one of the starting points of this elevated horror thing. But I don't know when you hear him creeping around the bed when you're under the covers, and when you see that face for the first time, I like how sort of storybook boogeyman he is. It is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh my God, who else were we talking about?
Harry Warden.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Um. I'll say the Babadook because I love that Harry Warden has his own theme. That's something most of these people don't have.
Yeah, true.
But at the end of the day, My Bloody Valentine is kind of just a generic slasher. But if you're like me and you love that, a generic slasher is still great. But I like the layers to the Babadook and his appearance and the concept of him. So I would say the Babadook.
Yeah, because it's sort of Kruger-esque in that it's sort of like it. You know, the Babadook sort of gets into your sort of in theory when you're a kid, but then can still sort of be around, lurking, waiting at any point. So I'd edge Babadook on this one as well.
I'll go with the Babadook because he's a mobile boogeyman. He doesn't
Yeah,
live in the closet. He lives within the confines of yourself. So he's always with you.
that's deep.
Yeah, either way, I'm still going to get outvoted on this one. So I'm throwing my vote to Harry Warden because personally, I don't like the Babadook. So there's that.
I know I put
Jenna
it
Ortega will be upset with you.
Probably not the only reason. I did give Hurry Up Tomorrow money, though. So there you go.
That's a bad thing. You should be punished for that.
What-
Abel set records at Orlando last night, actually. Dating this show was
It was
actually.
it was on sale this weekend as part of Amazon's, movie weekend, and I'm like, why would you buy that? And then literally underneath recommended was the Buddy Idol, and I was like, why would you buy that either? Like,
Because you wanted to see what else happens when someone tries to be a female Patrick Bateman.
I feel like we might be getting that anyway.
I know we will be, and it'll be much better.
I'm sure. I'm like the Weeknd's a nice guy, but he has totally derailed us. Let's.
Well, all I'm seeing is a blank bracket that says on it, so let's
Yeah.
get.
Get on it. Crazy style, Dale. Right. So starting off the right side of the bracket, Audrey the Second versus the Killer Clowns.
Oh God.
The
This is an
crazy
interesting
thing is,
one.
I feel the Killer Clowns would use Audrey as a weapon.
Probably.
I was gonna say it's interesting. They're both from space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if the Killer Clowns targeted anybody specifically, because Audrey 2 doesn't care. Audrey 2 will just wants to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but the cotton candy that like is flesh eating goes a long way for me as well.
Yeah.
I have one in my apartment, actually.
And the killer clown that uppercuts the guy's head off.
Yes.
Killer clowns are not to be underestimated, but I feel like I'm leaning Audrey 2. Because we've got Corman's movie as well. And we've also got the whole alternate ending where Audrey 2 took over the world and ate everybody. Which is what Corman's ending was. When he ate all the major characters in Corman's movie. Took over the world in the musical. This is a good one. I like this one. Does anybody else have thoughts?
I'd edge it to Audrey too, as I say, just because I feel like the Killer Clowns would use Audrey as sort of a weapon for their own bidding. Because they know how effective Audrey would be. Because I'm not sure whether they'd work out that Audrey might just turn on them. Because sometimes they do feel a little simple-minded in some of their tactics, as deadly as they are. So I'd probably edge it to Audrey here.
I'll go with Audrey 2 as well, because if you take the Corman ending and the alternate ending, Audrey 2 is one of the few entities on this list that wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Well, we beat Killer Clowns at Horror Nights, and Audrey just beat Killer Clowns tonight.
Yeah, I was pretty much on the verge of leaning Audrey, so that's 4 for 4.
Yep.
So next, Victor Crowley versus the Jaw Shark.
So, as our resident hatchet expert, AJ,
Is anybody else on the panel familiar with Hatchet?
Not
Whoop, whoop.
really. Again, I think the first one might have come out and then, because I think there's been like 2 or 3 films, but I think the others would have gone straight to, I want to say DVD.
Well, this is unfortunate because it's funny. Victor Crowley lives in a swamp, So he's like near. I mean, not that sharks would be there, but he's near water, which is funny.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess it's one of those ones where Victor Crowley's great as like we were saying about Harry Warden, where it's a typical slasher setup, but it's kind of like Pumpkinhead in a sense where he's got a tragic backstory, but is very vicious and his kills are what. One thing Victor Crowley has going in his favor that I don't think hardly any of these people do is Victor Crowley has a kill that made me feel like I was going to pass out when I saw it. Where he cuts at the end of Hatchet 2, he cuts Tony Todd in half at the waist and then picks him up, his top half up by the exposed spine, and rips all of the skin off. And when I saw that, I thought I was going to faint for a second. So now that we're kind of giving Victor Crowley his flowers a little bit, what Spielberg was able to do with instilling fear into audiences everywhere while barely showing the threat, using music and camera work, and then having those moments where this animatronic that does look like an animatronic actually is threatening and like holy shit cinematic and like classic and iconic and everything. I think we can say the shark.
Considering how average the actual animatronic is, the way it's just conveyed like Robert Shaw's fucked is very well done. And the fact that it made Michael Caine make a god awful movie, but then he was like, yeah, but it bought my house. So that's the legacy of Frank the Shark, or whatever the hell his name was on set.
Bruce.
Frank.
I don't know.
Frank the Shark. Sounds like a mobster.
It does.
That might be
Frank the
why.
Shark.
Oh fuck! It's Shark Tale all over again. Son of a bitch.
Won't be no Frank the Shark in New York this season, or will there be?
I'll go with Frank the Shark for two reasons. The first reason is the scene where Roy Scheider's throwing the chum in the water. The shark pops up is one of the most awesome scenes in movie history. That's an awesome reveal. And second, the shark kills a child, which there's a lot of entities on this list you can't say that about.
Very true.
Yeah.
And the eating of that child gets Roy Scheider slapped.
Yeah.
Even though Roy Scheider didn't do anything wrong, she should have slapped the mayor.
Yeah. Well, some people would argue it should be the mayor that's on this list and not the shark.
To be fair, I think I've just realised Frank the Shark is what's going to happen when Asylum Films makes the Frankenstein shark film.
God. Hold on. Let's write this down. Frank. That's going to go down with Bubba Gino's as something. Frank the Shark, huh? All right.
Next up.
I wonder if Frank the Shark's the same Frank that Adam Sandler stole the shirt from in Billy Madison.
That sounds about right.
We have Angela Baker from Sleepaway Camp taking on Rusty Nail from Joyride.
Well, here I don't know how controversial this is. It's been brought up a few times, but I think I prefer the Angela from 2 and 3 than I do the first movie, where she's just out as the serial killer, and the movies are just her serial killing, and that's all they are. And she's just having fun killing everybody.
So what you're telling me, basically, it would be Friday the 13th if Pamela didn't get killed and then was just like, fuck it, I'm going on a spree.
which is sacrilege because Felissa Rose is an icon.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to like do this based on that, I would say like I'm only thinking about the first Joyride when I think of Rusty Nail. Those sequels are bastard children. Um, especially when he's played by Ken Kersinger in the third movie, and you're just outright seeing his face, which goes completely against the whole Rusty Nail thing. But that's a hard. This is another one where I'd like to see the interaction because Rusty Nail would totally pick. There's like the opening scene of like the second movie is him picking up a girl and like taking her, and then he like kills her. He like gets her head's like stuck in the window, and he drives by and gets it like ripped off, Hereditary style. Um, I want to see the movie where Rusty Nail picks up Angela and regrets it. um, so I love Joyride's like one of my favorite thrillers probably, and it's a really cool, really threatening character. Just him saying stuff like "your tail light" can be really threatening. Shout out to Ted Levine for this quite a bit. Um, but as far as like really having fun watching a character, I might lean Angela. But like I said, that's kind of based on 2 and 3, which might be sacrilegious, but I don't know. I might say Angela.
However, I'm saying sort of it's one-sided when I think she'd stand more chance sticking with the theme of at least Rusty Nail and Joyride. She'd had more of an actual fight with the truck from Duel. Because I feel that's the same premise as what
Yeah.
Rusty Nail kind of is. You know, it's a trucker that's lost their shit. It's just it's. I don't think the dual truck goes as far. Do we see them? Do we see them kill off anybody? Sort of Hitcher style. I don't think so.
I actually don't remember.
Yeah.
There's a video on this channel where I compare Duel and Joyride if anybody wants to seek that out.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd give it to Angela on this one.
I'm gonna give it to Angela because if Rusty Nail was fooled by Paul Walker's girl voice, Angela's really gonna throw him for a loop.
Yeah, there's no competition here. Frank the Shark is a football player, by the way.
Oh, there was a Frank the Shark. There we go.
I'm gonna need you guys to make Frank the Shark a recurring thing through your videos moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
We're gonna need a picture of this Frank the Shark football player.
Frank the Shark needs to replace the donkey with headphones whenever your guys' videos end.
Hold on.
He won't replace, but he'll go in the rotation no matter what.
There we go. There's Frank the Shark right there.
We'll put him up again at the end. When I've gone full screen because of the way I've got it for this fucking screen grab. Right. Oh Christ, we're nearly 2 hours already, damn it. Next up, the Firefly family versus Jack Torrance.
Oh God. I don't like this battle.
Well, this was already a debate when we were compiling the list because it was like Jack Torrance isn't a villain until like the Overlook has him. It's like maybe a more appropriate inclusion would have been Rose the Hat because Rose the Hat is just pure evil.
Mm-hmm.
And we only wanted to do like one per universe.
Yes.
So not including the fact that like King's stories are all in universe, but you know what we mean. One per story, something like that. Well, it's 3 against 1, but Jack is part of a bigger picture with the Overlook itself.
I would say you could make the argument the Overlook itself is the villain.
Yeah. And when I think of the Firefly family, I'm thinking of like mainly the 3 of them, the main 3.
I don't know, man. I want to watch Jack Torrance interact with Grandpa.
um, oh God, this is another
I'm
one.
gonna get the Firefly family for Otis alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another one where I'm like struggling. Do you have a take, Ashley?
I feel the Firefly family are twisted sort of enough. Like, an early point. That, you know, they'd probably get to Jack before he got done by the presents. In that respect.
It's also complicated because there appears to be a supernatural element to House of a Thousand Corpses that isn't present in the Devil's Rejects.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That really muddies the waters.
I think you could also make the argument without the Overlook Hotel. I mean, this doesn't make for a great person, but without the Overlook Hotel, Jack Torrance just boils down to being an abusive drunk.
Yeah.
And the Firefly family are like been there, done that. So.
But it's another one where it's hard to avoid iconic status, and Jack has that all over. But then again,
But
it's
how
like,
much of that is the character and how much is Nicholson?
that's true. Another argument I was gonna make was I love the ending of the Devil's Rejects, and I wish it was the end of the story. But if you take 3 from Hell into consideration, the Firefly family could not be taken down by literally driving into a hail of bullets. Jack had to get lost in a maze. if we're talking Kubrick's one, which obviously is controversial, but if we're talking Jack Torrance as a villain, I'd say we definitely want to focus on the Kubrick version. Oh my God. Is there anybody who hasn't said a take yet? I've lost track.
I was gonna say that I feel like even Baby would be able to get to Jack before he was able to do anything.
Oh, Jack was ready to fuck a corpse in a bathtub. He'd be all about trying to fuck Baby.
And I think that would be his undoing right there.
Yeah.
Both of them would fuck corpses together.
Yes.
Otis would get in on that too. The opening shot of Otis in the Devil's Rejects, he's sleeping with a corpse.
This is true.
Otis would look at the corpse in the bathtub and be like, oh shit, I know her.
So I think probably Firefly family then.
That seems to be correct answer at this point.
I would not have seen that coming.
Yeah.
No. Better house.
Jack horrified by the appearance of the corpse. Otis would be pissed off that the corpse was gone.
Right.
Also, better house.
He'd just be standing in room 237 yelling, "Oh, what the fuck!"
Yeah, Otis would willingly live in room 237, just waiting for shit to happen.
Next up,
He'd have the fucking time of his life there.
we have Jigsaw versus Christine.
So John Kramer is going to die at any day now, and a possessed car is his battle.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't really set a trap. Well, you could set a trap for Christine. It wouldn't be a saw trap, but
No, it'd be spike
I
strips.
think
Spike strips, yes.
something
I
that's
think
really
Jigsaw is very similar to Sam where we talked about like you have to do something to provoke Jigsaw.
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of skeleton in your closet. Where Christine, I can't remember the guy's name that owns her. Not Old Man Marley, but
Arnold?
the one that gets it from Old Man Marley. Arnold, yeah. You just look at Arnold the wrong way, and you're, as Vincent Vega put, a fucking grease spot.
And the fact that I think one of the more threatening things about Christine is that she can reanimate.
Mm-hmm.
That's like she's basically unstoppable to the point that the movie like teases the idea that she can even come back from being cubed.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think we need to overlook the fact that Jigsaw can have a pretty far reach.
Yeah.
He's very
Jigsaw, you can be undone by Jigsaw with about the same degrees of separation as, I can't believe I'm making a second reference to this character, but about the same degree of separation as Dark Helmet from Lone Star.
I also kind of
that's
feel as well that Jigsaw can get you even though he's dead. Because how much of the
Yeah.
stuff in the franchise has happened after he's already gone?
Yes, I think I'm going to give it to Jigsaw, honestly.
I feel that sort of. I feel sort of. He somehow has the edge because he's going to indoctrinate enough people that his legacy goes on. Even if it is other people doing it rather than him. Which could outlive Christine because we don't know how much regenerative she is over time.
there is another scene I have to shout out. It's the scene where the gas station blows up and Christine drives out of it and chases the guy down the street while on fire. Which is I love. It's this one's hard because I feel biased because Christine's another one of my favorite horror movies. Ever since I got the Blu-ray, I watch Christine all the time. But I can get the Jigsaw arguments. I think I might know where Owen's gonna land, which should end this debate.
I really think at the end of the day, John Kramer is very unpredictable, and he has many minions that can do his bidding for him and have done so for years. I have a feeling that would continue.
I'm good with this because I can keep my Christine vote and we can move on. So I'm
Yeah.
happy with this.
Next up, we have the Ghostface Killer.
Oh no. There's my envy.
versus
That person.
Valak.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
I think I want to be careful what we say here because I'm pretty sure my brother still hasn't seen Scream 6. But
Correct.
the idea that Ghostface is a different person every time, I would say is an asset.
Extremely.
And it makes that's kind of what keeps one of the things that keeps the franchise alive, I think, is the idea that every Scream movie you get the same iconic visual, but it's a new mystery, which is very appealing. That being said, I do think that Valak was like instantly iconic as well, and it is a terrifying image. I guess the biggest argument on Ghostface's side is the fact that the Scream franchise is still very, very strong so far. And Valak was kind of very much watered down by the Nun movies.
Yeah, I hated the Nun movies.
So Conjuring 2 Valak is peak.
Well, yeah, Conjuring, that's why.
And incredible. And like I said, this terrifying character that's just etched in your memory forever once you've seen them. But yeah, all the things we said, I would lean Ghostface.
Yeah, I feel
I'll go
Ghostface.
Ghostface as well because, like you said, it's a different person every time, so it's a different motive every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sort of again Ghostface is sort of Ghostface because of it being a different person, and as you say, different motives means, you know, you never know when you're sort of safe more than sort of, oh look, it's a scary nun. If anything, Annabelle's
And
more upsetting than Valak, I would say.
I think the monster on top of the cabinet in the first Conjuring is the scariest thing to come out of the Conjuring
Yeah, yeah,
movies.
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that one. It became so diluted that I forgot that The Conjuring 1's a good film.
Dude, the Conjuring one, like my heart was racing in the whole theater. Like I didn't go to the Conjuring 2 because of how the Conjuring 1 made me feel, and I had chest pains that morning before everybody I knew went to see Conjuring 2, so I watched Force Awakens instead.
The irony is, for me, I think I saw it as like a free student preview or something like that, and whatever. Because somehow I had access to the thing. I can't remember why, but you know, I saw the first Conjuring and was like, you know, I really enjoyed it. So as soon as the sequel came out, I vehemently didn't want to watch it because I was like, so if this is becoming a franchise, whether it's this film or some other film in the future, they're gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna give a shit about this franchise. So I haven't properly seen any of the other Conjuring films. Maybe apart from I've seen bits of Annabelle, but not like the rest. I've sort of tried to avoid because I want the Conjuring 1 to be as pure as the original was.
Annabelle
It's why I
creation is
get so scared about like if all of a sudden they go there's a Babadook sequel, I'm going, oh no 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 no, don't, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I wish Hollywood would prescribe more to the adage of leave them wanting more.
Oh, and another thing Ghostface has going for it is the thing we talked about. They could be anybody you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Ghostface quality.
Right.
I assume we know where Owen's going.
I mean, it's my favorite horror movie of all time. My dream role at Halloween Horror Nights, and I don't. It's gonna be really hard for me to go against it for any reason because of those reasons. So yeah.
The
Plus,
thing
I
is,
just
as well, because you're such a horror aficionado, you'd literally be sort of the perfect representation of the Scream 1 villains. Because they know their shit as well.
I'd be so happy if that's my dream role. Hopefully, one day it happens. And I have faced Valak at at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and it was certainly something that happened. Just like when I faced Bagul several years ago at Horror Nights, it was certainly something that happened.
Ooh, this is an intriguing one. Because I can look at what I wrote in the box now. I just remembered. So this is the Fisherman, Ben Willis, whichever, from I Know What You Did Last
John
Summer,
Buffett, Herman.
versus Art the Clown.
Oh boy, this is easy.
Yeah, that's it. Once again, we're like over 2 hours in. Why not speed through this one? This is art.
Good job, Art.
This is
Thanks for coming.
after the new movie. This is after the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is especially art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Art. He has a better hat.
And by the time that you see this, I will have finally been able to go one-on-one with Art the Clown. And I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Art wins this.
So Art could potentially be facing either Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction or This might also be a rapid fire one, but in terms of what it means for the second round, I don't know. Pennywise the clown.
Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction is iconic, and that cannot be argued.
Nope.
Maybe one of, if not the only, Oscar-nominated performance. Well, no, an Oscar-winning one's in here somewhere. We know that. But yeah, that goes a really long way. But like, both Pennywises are iconic. Tim Curry's Pennywise is iconic, and Skarsgård's. And there's just something about there's a reason evil clowns are a thing. There's something so fetching about that kind of colorful image doing something so horrific. And we were talking about the shark in Jaws. We were talking about Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said that, it's like we're talking about Shaft. We're talking about Frank. You're damn right.
the with the shark in Jaws we were talking about, he kills a child. And so that's Pennywise's whole thing. Especially the way we get to see it multiple times in Skarsgård's second movie.
That's
and
funny.
By the time this airs, the show will be on HBO as well, which I'm really psyched about.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Glenn Close and Fatal Attraction is like, it's so iconic. It's like a phrase people say when they know somebody crazy, or if they're in a relationship that's not much of a relationship and very one-sided, and things are getting Glenn Close and Fatal Attraction is something that registers immediately. But for this, I would say Pennywise for sure.
Yeah, Pennywise for me. Supernatural.
Yeah.
I'll go with Pennywise as well. When we were in Salem, we went to this wax museum called Count Orlok's Wax Museum. It was a wax museum of all horror figures. And they had a Bill Skarsgård Pennywise there. And they had it off in a room by itself. And the way the lighting worked, it looked like he was moving. And it's one of the freakiest things I've ever seen in my life.
I never want to witness that in person.
Yeah, it piss your pants.
I have yet to face Pennywise at the event for many reasons, because it's never happened and probably never will at this point. But a mere mortal versus Pennywise, yeah, that's pretty much a one-sided affair.
Although I could see some frustration for Pennywise's side because he couldn't get Alex to be scared like he likes.
That's an interesting thought.
I still think she'd be cannon fodder, though.
So if you're paying attention, you'll have realised that 4 of the most iconic villains that were numbers 1 through 4 in the presentation, we still haven't seen yet. Which therefore means
It makes me the rest
all
of
4 are in this bracket of 16. This is why I group this as the bracket quarter of death. Because at some point the heavy hitters are going to have to go against each other. Case in point, maybe. I can't remember. We have the Headless Horseman taking on Freddy Krueger.
2 more child killers.
Yep.
Johnny Depp gets to lose both ways.
That's a hell of a scene in Sleepy Hollow when he kills the mother and father and the kids hiding, and then he leaves with 3 bags, and it's just implied. That's wicked. I've talked about my love of Sleepy Hollow endlessly.
Yep.
It's like a pure Halloween movie in the best way. It's like Tim Burton at his most Tim Burton in the best way. I almost want to say that, but if we're talking like original movie Freddy, it was Freddy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 child killers. Okay. Uh, what the one video where we can say that stuff so casually.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, once again, it seems like it might be boring to just go for the icons, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's hard to get more iconic than not just Freddy, but specifically Robert Englund as Freddy is like a whole. That's not me like intentionally jabbing at Jackie Earle Haley at all. It's just that taking a character and an actor and making them, it's lightning in a bottle. This kind of character, I think. So even though he did get, the Power Glove bullshit and everything else that came from like 5 and 6 and on. Still, if we're going back to like the roots of Freddy, that's who I would have to say. But oh my God, do I love Sleepy Hollow?
Yeah, I feel Freddy just has the advantage of sort of being around when you're dreaming and potentially when you're not.
Yeah, I'll go
Whereas,
with Freddy. Everybody's got to sleep.
yeah.
But you keep talking about Sleepy Hollow. I don't want to discount either how well animated and scary the scene is in the animated movie when the horseman's riding across the bridge at Ichabod Crane.
Yeah,
That's a really cool animation scene.
and throws the pumpkin like right into the camera.
Yes. That's fucking awesome. It's a shame that in the show Sleepy Hollow they felt the need to give him an assault rifle.
I didn't know that, and that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Freddy the Shark for you, Owen.
Yeah, Robert Englund moves on.
Next up, Jason Voorhees
Great timing.
or Norman Bates.
Well, Norman keeps trying unsuccessfully to rehabilitate. Because the second movie is all about him very elaborately relapsing after Vera Miles and Meg Tilly gaslight him, and he kills Mrs. Spool. And then the third movie is like him rampaging again, and then he says, "Okay, I'll go away. I'm fine." And then in the fourth movie, he finally comes to the conclusion, "Oh, it's my choice to kill people. I'm gonna stop." So he's iconic also, but Jason's an unstoppable machine.
Yeah.
So, and his designs got cooler as we got up to Kane Hodder, which I love. I love Kane Hodder's build as Jason. So I'll say Jason, but shout out to Norman for being layered.
I feel the abuse that Jason went through fueling his vengeance. And because he isn't seeking any sort of, trying to get out of it at all, like Bates does, puts him on a slight advantage. Ever
It
so
is
slightly.
it is funny the mother connection these two have, and the fact that they're parodies.
Yeah.
I'll go with Jason because while he wields a weapon, he certainly does not need to use that weapon to kill you.
Yeah.
Like he's for a hulking back from the dead monster, he's quite creative.
To me,
Yeah,
that is still the best kill. I mean, most people would say the liquid ice from Jason X. I still say it's him getting the two fake cheerleaders and the hollow deck thing, sticking them in the sleeping bag and just smacking them on the tree. Like,
He actually did the sleeping bag one first in part 7, and then he did
oh,
it
so it's
again.
actually
And
a callback to that. I can't even remember that one.
My one knock against Jason, I feel like Jason Takes Manhattan was such a wasted opportunity.
And would you say it's embarrassing that the only person that's ever been able to successfully kill Jason is Corey Feldman?
I don't know. Corey Feldman had a hand in taking David out too.
Yeah, a little bit,
More of an
yeah.
information role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any shame in Corey Feldman at all. Corey Feldman was instrumental in figuring out the verbs. Like, Corey
That's true.
Feldman's pretty important in a lot of movies he's in.
Yeah. I'm
So I don't
sorry,
think it's
man.
embarrassing. I would dare say it's almost an honor to have Corey Feldman as part of your demise.
I'm sorry, Corey Feldman. I didn't mean.
Considering the music career that came on from him, no, he's tortured us enough.
Yeah.
The comeback king took them down.
I mean, it's already given Owen, but do you wanna make it a clean sweep? Or...
Yeah, Norman can be pretty persuasive, but you can't reason with Jason.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like having sandwiches and milk in the parlor, and that might lure you in.
And as he currently doing the next couple of nights on both coasts in Jason Universe, he moves on.
Can we also, real quick, just shout out the moment? I think it's in the third Psycho when he's performing taxidermy with a spoon, and then he uses the exact same spoon right afterwards to make peanut butter and crackers, which he then eats. That's the real psychotic thing he did.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Right. Next up.
Well, he was already screwed anyway because all Norman had to do was yell for mother, and Jason heard that, and then it's all over.
Oh my god, it's a why did you say that name moment.
Yes.
Next up, we have Annie Wilkes from Misery taking on Phantasm's Tall
Breaking down a couple of pegs.
Man.
Well, the tall man he steals corpses, shrinks them down to like Jawas that then go around and cause havoc and gather more bodies. Annie's history is just as scary as what we see her with Paul. And she's scarier in the book in places. And she's more brutal. Like, she kills a dude with a lawnmower and she hacks Paul's foot off completely. But a lot of people say the hobbling is probably more psychotic. I would say Annie's unpredictability gives her the edge. Because once we know the tall man's plan, he's just kind of there. I mean, it is like an iconic moment when he's like standing over the bed in the dream sequence, or when he's walking down the street and just turns. Like, there's great things about the tall man, but I'm gonna go Annie, I think.
Yeah, I feel like every time I just see anything Tall Man related, it's just him with his ball looking menacingly. Like, that's all he's got. Whereas Annie will kill a motherfucker.
I think the tall man's barely in the second movie.
Oh, so basically like Pinhead.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So, yeah,
I really want to give it to the tall man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with Annie because of what you guys said. But the image I have in my head is the scene in the first Phantasm when the boy sees him just lift the coffin and put it in the car. I want there to be an alternate universe where him and Annie are working together. And as he's throwing it in the car, you just hear Annie standing there beside him going, "Throw the coffin in the cock-a-doodie copter."
Yeah, she could. You imagine she could push him around like that.
I think she could. But I think the tall man's appearance is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like he's a creepy son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's so simple because he's just like a mortician, but it's so effective with his height and his face and his voice.
And his voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Owen, you take?
Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, because we've got 2.5 hours in. A lot of this is going to be more quick.
After we've established all the characters, we can probably
Yeah.
rapid fire.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're nearly through it. So, next up, the Critters versus Hannibal Lecter. You fucking eat them. End of story. Hannibal Lecter.
Well, the thing about the Critters is in the second movie when they can get together and make a giant ball that rolls around. And like there's the moment that's etched in my brain where the guy's like laying down face first and they roll over him, and after they roll over him, just all of the skin on his back is gone. They're basically like little can openers.
Yeah, but
but
Hannibal opened up a... Was it Hannibal that opened up a guy's skull?
yes, Ray Liotta's.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Because I wasn't sure whether it was him or one of the various other serial killers that are in those films.
The Critters are great and fun and very, very lethal. Like, let's not underrate how lethal the Critters are.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the psychological aspect, I would say Hannibal.
Yeah. Chris?
I'm gonna go with the Critters because they'll straight up kill you, and I'll use the expression because he's a cannibal. Hannibal likes to play with his food a little bit too much.
Owen?
Hannibal Lecter.
And that means he's through 3 to 1. So the last...
I love that Hannibal went up against the Critters and it wasn't a clean sweep.
Alright, let's see if the next one's a
You're
clean
welcome.
sweep. So we have 1984 Terminator versus 1666. Well, no, I guess 17 something Terminator. John Carver.
So, an unstoppable. I'm sorry for the spoilers, but an unstoppable metal killing machine from the future versus Patrick Dempsey.
It was just a dream.
Thanksgiving is super fun, and good God, the scene where he cooks the mom and makes the dinner should go down in history as an ultimate horror movie scene. Even though it's new, still in the future it should be. But I'm going Terminator. Because I think a lot of people forget that the original Terminator is like a horror movie.
When was Thanksgiving? When did Thanksgiving come out? Is that the one that was like recently?
2023, just a couple of years ago, I think.
I just wonder whether that scene was inspired by the cook, the thief, his wife, and her lover.
It's very possible. We know Eli Roth is a cinephile.
Yeah.
he's totally familiar with Greenaway, I guarantee.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as as much he sort of got caught out by a car crusher or whatever, a press in the original thing. I think Terminator would terminate John Carver in that instance.
I'm going to go with Terminator just based on the fact that whenever technology gets too advanced or AI is brought up, a lot of people, including myself, are like, what happens if the Skynet happens? There's a reason we're afraid of that.
Dude, literally, James Cameron himself just said that.
Yeah.
Owen?
Well, Patrick Dempsey was a doctor until they killed him off on TV, so... he has even less of an advantage here. Yeah, definitely going to go with the Terminator.
Right.
You'll
so-
notice with I like Thanksgiving. You'll notice I was like, don't spoil Scream 6, but I was like, fuck it, John Carver's Patrick Dempsey. I just had to give people the image of the Terminator versus Patrick Dempsey rather than just John Carver.
McDreamy won't last very long.
If I remember correctly, didn't Patrick Dempsey also get killed off by a Transformer in one of those movies?
Yes, he did.
So, speaking of mechanical stuff,
Uh-oh.
Stuntman Mike
Oh, boy.
versus Black Phone's Grabber.
Oh, no. I don't like this.
Well, the grabber only kills children.
Yes.
Stuntman Mike only kills women. Okay, wow, we've really backed into a corner here.
Dang it.
Are they just gonna shake hands and move on? Again, we should probably clarify again. As we're shooting this, the Black Phone 2 hasn't come out yet, but it will be out by the time this comes out.
For sure.
So we're talking about the living grabber as of now.
Well, I mean, depending on how you want to judge the ending of the original movie.
Ethan Hawke's performance is incredible, but I'm gonna say Stuntman Mike.
I'll go Stuntman Mike as well because his is sexually driven, which adds a creep factor. But if the grabbers was the sexual motive, that would out creep Stuntman Mike's creepy sex motive.
Yeah. It's interesting that the grabber has those vibes, but there's no evidence of it.
So,
Oh.
Chris, what are you saying?
I heard the other day there was a cut scene from Death Proof where after Stuntman Mike kills the first set of women, there was originally a scene of him jerking off in the car while it was upside down.
I've heard that, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad it's not in there.
Me too. I like that it's implied.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me want to think about Crash any more than I already do.
God. So, which one are you going for, Chris? Which one are you going with?
Stuntman Mike.
Owen, the same?
Stuntman Mike.
To me, I feel as if we're talking about, because obviously Grabber grabs him and put it in his van. Stuntman Mike will fuck the van up.
He'll wreck the
He's
van.
got a better car.
He'll 100% wreck the van.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
So that's why it's like Stuntman Mike. It has to be. And then for the final, to get to our final last 16 match.
I know who's coming up
Sorry,
soon.
last 32. Michael Myers
Oh, please don't do what I think you're about to do.
versus the Candyman.
Oh, well, I know who's in the last one.
Both of those have such special places in my heart. Because Halloween's my favorite horror movie ever. The morning I saw Halloween for the first time, it was very early in the morning, is when I fell in love with slasher movies. But like I've said, as weird as this sounds, Candyman, the original Candyman is like a comfort movie to me. Like, it doesn't even really creep me out. I just I love watching it. And I love the character. And I love the character's background and all that stuff. But I feel like it's going to be hard for me to not fight to get Michael Myers to the end. I'm just going to say that right now. So the only way Candyman would lose this quickly for me is in this scenario where he'd be up against Michael Myers. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, just because of, I guess there is supernaturalness sort of to both of them, but I feel it's more with Myers because it feels like he's got out of way more situations than he should have done if he was normal. Maybe it's just the Shatner face. Who knows?
I'm going to go with Michael Myers because not only do we see what he can do, but we have like unintentionally Loomis is serving as his hype man through the whole thing. He's like Loomis is like his unintentional Ebony Maw.
Yeah.
Clean sweep, I'm guessing. Owen.
I have encountered Michael Myers many times, and all I have to say is avoid, mirror, / repeat.
Are we sure half the time it was Michael Myers and not William Shatner?
One of those times it could have been.
There we go. Which, yes, means, and by chance, it does mean that 64 is not Jerry Dandridge.
Oh
The
God, he's
last
gonna
one
die.
as it came out in the drawer
He's gonna
was
die.
Leatherface.
God dang it.
It's Jerry Dandridge and who?
Leatherface.
Ooh. I love Jerry Dandridge as a character. I love that he doesn't give a shit. Like, as soon as he knows that Charlie knows who he is, he's just out as a vampire. um, but yeah. Leatherface is another one that's kind of too iconic. And I've said before that I think the dinner scene in Texas Chainsaw might be the scariest scene in movie history. So I'm gonna go Leatherface. But I don't want to sound like I'm throwing away Jerry Dandridge quickly, because I love Fright Night and that character. I love Colin Farrell's version too, but I'm mainly thinking about Chris Sarandon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go Leatherface. So, yeah.
Yeah. Leatherface for me, just because I to some extent he's very much like Dandridge as well, as like he doesn't care what you think about him as long as he has his mask on. You know, he's safe, and then he can just do whatever the hell he wants. So yeah, I'd give it to him.
I'm gonna go against the grain and go with Jerry Dandridge. Jerry Dandridge is more intelligent, and he's the brains of his own operation. I think Leatherface essentially is a stooge for his family.
Yeah, that's
true.
So I think Jerry Dandridge is a little bit scarier in that regard. So I'm going to give it to Jerry Dandridge.
No, I can see that.
Well, there was a time before a very special year in my life that I would say that I was absolutely mortified by Leatherface. And I'm still not a major fan of his. But when you have to face your fear every single night for 40 nights, you kind of change your mindset a little bit. Also, being part of that clan that is basically setting up Leatherface to do their bidding, I would say right now that no matter how smart Jerry Dandridge may be, I think the Sawyer family is a little bit more intelligent. And I feel that, yeah, Leatherface would make not short work, but I feel that at the end of the day, Saw's family.
I'm glad Jerry Dandridge didn't go down without a fight.
Yeah.
We had to fight the entire Sawyer family to get out of it, so there you go.
So for the rest of the way, do we just pick one
I'd
and
say
go?
it'd be relatively quick, yeah. So, back round to the bounce. Samara from the Ring franchise versus Dracula.
I would go Dracula.
Yeah, I'd just about say Dracula.
I'll go with Samara.
Dracula.
3-1, Dracula goes through. Now we've got Pumpkinhead versus Hocus Pocus's Sanderson sisters.
Oh, wow.
That's a hell of a fight. I'll say Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I'd probably Pumpkinhead without magic, I think the Sandersons.
I'll take Pumpkinhead because Billy would totally send Pumpkinhead after the sisters.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, that checks out. I agree with this.
Chucky or Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Chucky.
Yeah. Nobody's safe. Well, creatures done for.
Chucky,
Don't fuck with the Chuck.
represent.
And then this might be the one that we might have to spend a bit more time on. Jean Jacket versus the Thing.
Double disqualification. They fought to the back. It's over.
I feel like this would be booked like Hogan and Andre at Mania 4. Just double DQ them both and get them out of there.
Exactly.
I will go Jean Jacket.
I'd kind of go the Thing.
I'm going the Thing.
Jean Jacket.
Shit.
Oh, there we go. That's why I've said it was like this is.
Okay, I put him on my.
I think I can convince you, AJ. I picked the Thing because the Thing could possess Jean Jacket.
I said that already.
Well, okay. I was gonna go ahead and lean my vote because, like I said, when we did our top 15 villains list of all time, I said the Thing. So I'm willingly can shapeshift my vote back into the Thing.
I feel as well. If the Thing sort of became Jean Jacket, I don't know what Jean Jacket would think. Whereas the Thing would just go, "I'm killing you, bitch." It's like
It would absorb itself if that's what happened.
right. Pearl or the Invisible Man?
Who was the first one?
Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl or the Invisible Man.
Yeah, just about edge it to Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Griffin.
Now we have Predator versus Abigail.
Predator.
It's taking place at a Denny's at 2:00 in the morning.
Probably.
If you know, you know. Shout out, Kevin.
I said Predator. Anybody else say that?
I'd have given the edge to Predator on that one.
Predator, but I'd love to watch those two fight.
I think Abigail's faster, but I think Predator might be more dangerous. Just barely.
I'm trying to remember where I know vampires don't have reflections, but I'm trying to remember if they have heat signatures that the Predator just be like, yeah, turn on the heat viz.
Although I still would be like, it'd be nice to see Dracula take on his daughter in the next round, but that's not happening.
I would think they don't have body heat. I wouldn't think.
I don't believe so.
So,
But then, would Abigail's keen sense of sight make Predators invisible?
So Owen's dream is coming true when we get to the last 16. Next up, Xenomorph versus Lost Boys David.
I hate to do this to David, but I have to say the Xenomorph.
Xenomorph.
Yeah.
Xenomorph.
Xenomorph as well. Not the Predator, that's the wrong thing.
No, that house sucked, Ashley. Don't remind me.
Well, don't worry, we might be getting that in a minute.
That house
Gremlins versus Babadook.
I will say the Babadook.
I'd say Babadook because it's more mental. We don't know whether it has a physical presence that could screw with the gremlin, or the gremlins could screw with, so.
I'm gonna go with the Gremlins. Numbers is numbers.
Gremlin. I don't like the Babadook.
I'm willing to lean Gremlins to even it out.
There we go.
makes it more interesting than like a metaphysical thing versus, you know, something that has a presence. Speaking of
Speaking of
It's a
presence,
shame we're not going to get the critters versus the gremlins.
yeah, if they were on if they were on the same side of the bracket, we might have had a chance. Oh well, now it's time for teeth, and I don't mean that movie. Audrey 2 versus Frank the Shark.
I would I would have to say the shark.
Yeah,
What was the first one?
Audrey
Audrey.
2.
Oh man, I think I'll go Audrey too.
Ashley.
I'd kind of go Audrey 2 as well, because if it got big enough, you know, it would be Godzilla. It'd be like, you know, oh look, sea creatures, yum.
I'm just gonna get it close to the water and it's all over. They're going with a shark.
Oh no.
um,
What do we do?
I think Audrey 2 could eat the shark easier than the shark could eat Audrey 2.
Depending on if there's water involved.
Are we assuming that Audrey 2 is at full size?
Yes.
So we basically at the end here we are turning it into who would win in a fight.
Yes.
basically, yeah. Because it's got that late and it's 3 hours. It's like, yeah.
I mean, if we go back to what we argued in round one,
To be
Audrey
fair-
2 eventually took over the world.
To be,
Also-
although at the same time, I feel Audrey would eat the people up enough that there'd be nobody for the shark to eat at the beach. Possibly.
Also the setting would have to be water, and water's good for plants. So I'll say Audrey 2 as well.
We somehow decided that. Don't ask us how. Angela Baker versus the Firefly family.
I will go the Firefly family.
I'd probably say the Firefly family too, because not just because of numbers, but I feel they kind of have the more menace. Even though some of Angela's kills in the later ones, from what I understand, are fucked up.
I'll go with the Firefly family because, like I said in round one, I think Otis could carry this family through most of the tournament.
Baby distracts and Otis like basically detaches.
Pretty
I'm
much.
picturing the end of this bracket's gonna be Otis versus the rest of the Firefly family.
And Otis will win.
It's gonna be like fucking Double Dragon when you've gone through as two players, and then it's like now you fight each other for which one gets the bitch. You're like, what?
Nope.
So, Jigsaw versus Ghostface. Speaking of different people every time.
I'm going Ghostface here.
Ghostface.
Yeah, I'd say Ghostface too.
I'll go with Jigsaw.
It's not all one-sided, at least. Oh god, yeah, this one. Art the Clown versus Pennywise.
This is a tough one.
Wow.
And again, this is a double disqualification. Can we just kill the last 4 people in the bracket and let Ghostface move on, please? Because I swear these 4 are fighting in the back.
Okay, I'll say this. Art has earned his iconic status.
Agreed.
No question, Art has earned his iconic status, but I think I've got too much of a soft spot for Pennywise that I have to say Pennywise. Because I grew up like reading the book and with the Tim Curry one, and then the Skarsgård movies are just that first Skarsgård movie is like one of the better horror movies of the last, like, I don't know if I want to say decade, but I kind of do want to say decade. So I'll say Pennywise for me.
I'm going with Art.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Art as well, because I mean he doesn't just pick on kids. He just picks on whoever the fuck he wants to, you know.
And I know we're not going by like if they were one-on-one, but if you did put him in that scenario, Pennywise can't do anything with Art because Pennywise thrives on fear, and there's not an ounce of fear in Art.
That's true.
Yet. We haven't seen 4 yet. God. Well, they're both supernatural.
The cool thing about Art is that we didn't know that right away.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen 2 or 3, so I didn't even know that was a thing with Art.
You
I
learn a
think
lot more when you get to the second movie.
if I remember correct, it doesn't really come into play until like the end of the second movie, does it?
It's the end of the second movie.
And then the third one just kind of confirms.
And the fourth one is going to be where we get our backstory finally. Oh, God, this is tough. Straight one-on-one battle. I think Art wins.
Pennywise is gone. And speaking of veterans, Freddy versus Jason. Where have I heard that before?
That house did suck. I don't want to think about that. I've already seen Jason at least once by the time this runs.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I think I'm going Jason.
Okay.
I'll go Jason because he has a higher body count.
That's fair.
I was going to say Jason because I feel, despite it, I'd say he has less emotional baggage than Freddy, I think, has for his stuff.
Well, overall, weirdly enough, I would probably pick Freddy, but at this point, AJ, you probably waited this entire bracket for me to say it. Jason fights the good fight, so yeah.
Next, we have Annie Wilkes versus Hannibal Lecter.
Oh God, that's a psychological battle I would love to see. By the way, 2 Oscar-winning roles, and they won in consecutive years. This is crazy. I'm going Hannibal. It's difficult though.
Yeah. I feel Hannibal is the one that would. I'd go with Hannibal just because they take pleasure in it more than Annie, who sort of does it more out of obsession. It's not really an enjoyment; it's a craving. But I feel the enjoyment angle is more powerful with Hannibal.
That's a really interesting take. That's really good.
There's a reason why he's wearing that hat and walking off in Cuba at the end of Silence of the Lambs. Nobody else would wear a hat like that. Fuck.
I'll go with Annie.
Hannibal.
Fuck.
3-1.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, because I said Hannibal, and Owen, did you say Hannibal?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so we're stuck.
No, 3-1.
No.
Oh wait, who else said Hannibal?
Me.
Oh, I'm holding us up. Please continue.
I will not be eating this evening.
This might be a quick one. Terminator versus Stuntman Mike.
Terminator survived a truck explosion, but can be crushed. I'll say Stuntman Mike.
I'm going to say Stuntman Mike as well because the only way you're in danger from the Terminator is if you're a comma.
I was going to say Terminator because I don't think Stuntman Mike's car would be strong enough to crush. At least
Probably
something
not,
like a Teleminator's exoskeleton and things like that.
I'll actually also take Stuntman Mike because I think Stuntman Mike has a better chance of killing Sarah Connor.
Wow. When you think
But
about
that's how Terminator can win, because he's going to be pissed off that Stuntman Mike was the one who killed Sarah Connor.
Well, Stuntman Mike stalks for a living, so he is good at finding people.
He wouldn't have gone to the wrong Sarah Connor 3 times.
Nope. He would have killed the wrong Sarah Connor 3 times.
He would have seen a picture of Sarah Connor, wanked it, and then gone and killed her. Or no, killed her, then wanked it.
He would have killed all 3 Sarah Connors, but it would have been on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and you technically are the casting vote, so.
Stuntman Mike.
Okay, 3-1.
Pyro in the background.
And then
I
Myers
can't wait to
versus
see in the
Leatherface.
comments how many people are going to be pissed that we said Stuntman Mike would be better than
And then
Sarah
Myers versus Leatherface.
Oh, Lord.
I know it's gonna sound like bias, but it's really hard for me to not say Michael Myers. He's pure and simply evil.
All right,
Leatherface.
Donald Pleasant.
Understood.
What was that?
Leather misunderstood. Overall.
Yeah, to a degree.
I'll go with Michael Myers because he had the subtlety to do the sheet and the glasses bit. Leatherface wouldn't take the time to do that. Leatherface would just yell.
Yeah. I've encountered both of these scenes in houses.
Plus, Leatherface has to use a chainsaw, so he's really loud. So you'd know when he's in the area.
Not necessarily. He needs to.
I say there is the time where he uses like a hammer, but it is mostly the chainsaw. Even though they do still, the scene where he kills Franklin is a really great jump scare.
I give it to Myers.
You were talking about how you think the dinner scene's one of the scariest scenes in horror history. I think another scene you could put up there is when he uses the hammer and the door slams shut.
Yeah.
That's a very unsettling scene.
The literal room right before mine that year.
So me and AJ are Michael. I'm guessing.
I'm going with Michael too.
Well, I do have Sawyer blood running through my veins and always will for personal reasons, but yeah, Myers wins this.
Right. So before we get to the ultimate bounce on it crazy style bracket dial, we need to get there. So Dracula versus Pumpkinhead.
I kind of want to say, I'm gonna say Pumpkin. I like in my back of my head, I was like, I want to say Pumpkinhead, so I'm gonna say, I guess.
Yeah, I just kind of feel, Pumpkinhead might sort of have the advantage to some extent as well. Again, because Dracula isn't. I feel Pumpkinhead being the more supernatural of the two. Because Dracula does have sort of some constraints to him. So, yeah. Pumpkinhead is 2
I'll go with
votes.
Pumpkinhead. I don't think we've talked enough about how Dracula has a specific designated person that just hunts him. Like, that's someone's occupation. I don't think anybody else on this list has somebody that their occupation is to kill them. Loomis's occupation is to find Michael, but not to kill him.
Yeah. Can I just say how much I love that Pumpkinhead has made it this far? And my very first argument for him was that he was underrated.
Yeah. Because of the nature of how many, iconic villains are in the one side, it left it open for other sections. So Now we have Chucky versus the Thing.
Like I said, I have a soft spot for Chucky, so I would say Chucky. But if everybody else is gonna say the Thing, I get it.
I mean, they're both about possession, essentially.
Yeah, to a degree.
At the same time, I feel even at some points, sometimes he sort of is willing to kill them. He does care about things some of the time. The Thing doesn't. I feel the Thing has no emotion other than death.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
I
Sort
finally
sort
get this argument. I'll take the Thing because you can Dark Helmet Chucky.
Owen?
Looks like we're gonna have Pumpkinhead versus the Thing towards the end.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me update that as well.
Just the name of the thing just drives me insane.
Blame Robert Eggers and writing that script. Invisible Man versus Predator. It's
Oh.
The battle of invisibility.
yeah. I mean,
Again,
of course, the
I'm gonna
advantage Predator has is the heat vision.
say Invisible Man, but if Predator becomes like an overwhelming favorite, I'm willing to change. But I would say Invisible Man.
Oh,
I'm going Predator because Predator could find the Invisible Man with the heat signature.
That's very true.
yeah, just because of it's a shame just because of that alone. That puts Predator through. Probably, unless Owen wants to say otherwise, because Invisible Man would be the more well, I'm not say intriguing, but
We already had to deal with one of the worst mazes in a battle. I don't want to deal with another one of the worst mazes in a battle. I'm going with Griffin.
Oh no.
I'm going to make the argument for Predator that Predator can do everything the Invisible Man can do, but more brutal, with better technology, and with even less regard for human life.
Okay. I'll go Predator.
which well, Owen's going to be upset because Xenomorph versus Gremlins, I fear, is good.
Yeah, we already did it once.
Oh, I'll go Xenomorph.
I'll also go with the Xenomorph. You can think of multiple ways to stop gremlins. The Xenomorph, you really have to get creative to make sure that you're not killed in the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to give it to that, sadly.
Yeah, my dad's favorite gets to go through the next round.
And just copy that in. Zoom that out, and then get to the other side, and then
And shout out to Ashley for putting this all together, by the way. The actual bracketing of the
Ordery 2 versus the Firefly family.
Lord.
I don't think Otis is helpful here, so I'll take Audrey too. I think Otis has met his match. Because Otis is running up first and getting his ass eaten.
I don't know.
But I want to be at the scene where Otis first sees it, just goes, "What the fuck is that?"
At some point, I do feel the Firefly family would go through a vegetarian phase, and I think they could. So weirdly, I'd say Firefly family.
I just imagine Audrey 2 eating baby and Otis just, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, just get a
But
beer, Molotov cocktail it, Audrey burns.
it can't. It can't. Well, it can't be overstated that in the real ending, Audrey 2 and all the other planets take over the world. At
Yeah.
least the
But-
city. But I think
but-
it's implied it's the world.
But is Otis in that universe?
Well, okay, here's the thing, is in that, okay, so the Firefly family uses, like, blades and guns. So let's say they're using guns in this scenario. When you watch that alternate ending, which I consider the real ending, A Little Shop of Horrors, the entire military is there firing, and they're not, and it doesn't work. So
I
by the
kind of
time
agree with Ashley's assessment that Otis is running up with the Molotov cocktail.
But if there's like tanks and the military and they can't do anything about Audrey 2 at full size, I would say that that would take them out. Like I said, if we're doing a whole physical battle thing now.
Owen?
Do we want to say the Firefly family?
I mean, the Fireflies, if you take out the one-on-one battle aspect and just threat to humanity, the Firefly family's more mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as long as you don't feed Audrey 2 can't get any further than the pot.
Yeah. I'm willing to go the Firefly family.
Owen?
I was thinking it would come down to Captain Spaulding's chicken.
I miss the Firefly family of House of a Thousand Corpses, which does feel different than the Firefly family of the Devil's Rejects.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that unforgettable DVD menu, speaking of the chicken.
So are we going with Firefly family on that one?
Sounds like it.
Let's do it.
I hate this next battle.
Oh, yes. Zoom that. Ghostface versus Art the Clown.
Art.
Ghostface.
Or I don't even know what our criteria is anymore.
I like this better than this. Criteria, damn it.
I will say God damn it, man. Fuck it, I'll go Art, sure.
Payback for me knocking Pennywise out of the competition. Thanks.
I was gonna, to be honest, I'd say Art as well, because he'd just play on, if it was sort of one-on-one, he'd just play on whatever it is that Ghostface fears that's causing Ghostface to do what they do.
And what if Sienna is Ghostface?
Does Ghostface use the sword now?
Yes.
He's
Ghost
upgraded.
has
He
a
went to
motive.
bloody medieval times and went, oh, that's better. Oh.
Ghostface could get too wrapped up in the motive, where Art's motive is just bloodshed.
Yeah, by the time they unmask, every Ghostface is so reckless.
Mm-hmm.
So Art does edge it. So now Jason Voorhees versus Hannibal Lecter.
I don't want to say anybody against Hannibal, really, but I mean, do you know how many times, not just any particular movie, Do you know how many times I've watched the entire Friday franchise?
A lot.
It, it's too many,
You
and
enjoy the house,
I'm
right?
looking. It's too many, and I'm looking forward to the next time I do it. I really love that shit.
You could live the entire franchise, all 8 movies, right now at Halloween Horror Nights if you go.
So, to the critics out there, especially of the time, do I go with the Best Picture winner, or do I go with Friday the 13th?
Well,
I
considering
mean, honestly, you're looking at villains and body count. I think you have to go with the slasher.
I I fucking love the Friday franchise. I don't even know
Because
how. I don't even know if I can fully explain it.
well,
Jason, well, you could boil it down. Jason gets the kill the first time. Like if Jason gets his hands on you, you're essentially finished. Hannibal took 2 tries to take out fucking Mason Berger.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with my heart. I understand. I've made my love of Hannibal known. So I think I can shamelessly say Jason, right?
Owen.
I want to say Hannibal, but I feel like Jason seems to be the direction to go.
Yeah.
I was
I was gonna
I
say
said,
Hannibal would sort of outsmart him.
That's what I was
Whatever.
thinking, but I was like, I don't want to cause another competition
But
again.
no, but at the same time, I think Jason isn't as stupid as he seems.
hmm,
I feel sort of there's more to him than meets the eye, sort of thing. Like some of the things that
I
he
think
sort
if
of
Hannibal goes with the mother angle, he'd have a shot. But if he went any other angle than that,
yeah.
Jason doesn't give a flying rat's ass.
So we'll give it to Jason.
yeah, brother, I was waiting. I could feel you pushing me in the Jason direction. I was waiting for you to just turn around and say Hannibal and make this difficult.
Um, how I didn't get the one from the other one. Oh, there we go. Oh, the clown. Of course it was. And then it's the battle of the mics. Mike Myers versus Stuntman Mike.
This is where I gotta say Michael Myers.
Myers.
Yeah, but those
Um,
nachos. I'll go with Michael Myers.
Also, shout out to Tarantino. It is a very fun concept to basically make a slasher movie, just the weapon is a car. But it's basically a slasher movie.
yeah. So now to the full on
Oh man,
zoom out.
imagine if Stuntman Mike came into possession of Christine. They'd be unstoppable.
The full on bounce on
Oh
a
my
crazy
god.
style Deo group.
Good lord.
So we
Like,
have
I'm glad those two didn't face off because I don't think there'd be much of a fight. I think they'd just fall in love with each other.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Pumpkinhead versus the Thing.
I guess I'd say the thing. Reluctantly.
I think you have to.
The
Yeah,
thing.
I think that would have the experience.
Dude, shout out to Pumpkinhead. That was a great run.
And then this old chestnut. Then again, we're not talking the modern shit. We're talking OG Predator versus OG Alien. The problem is, do I feel like we already know this because there was a xenomorph skull on Predator's thing from the very first film? So,
I'd be I'd be okay with Predator taking this, but I think I'd give my personal vote to the Xenomorph.
yeah. Screw what John
Xenomorph.
McTiernan was thinking. Or whoever did the script. I'd
I
probably add Xeno.
I hated that house, but the Xenomorph puppets were great.
I would take Predator.
That's that side of the
It's not
bracket.
the direction I expected that to go.
So now we've got the Firefly family versus Art the Clown.
Officially-
Oh man, I want to see that.
I think it's finally over for the Firefly family.
Yeah,
Man, Otis though. Otis and Art the Clown would become best friends.
I don't know. It depends on what Art does to Baby.
Oh
That
no,
might
I
give
think
Otis-
Art would be clever enough that he'd befriend Otis and kill him first.
Makes
I
sense.
feel like it'd be like a warped version of Step Brothers. Like they'd be in the bunk beds, and Otis would jump on the top and go, "You like fucking corpses?" And then the bed would collapse.
So
I like
then,
how nope. Gonna put it.
well, three of us together. Because you said Art the Clown as well. Owen?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I have a feeling unless he would get to Baby first because that's obviously his MO anyway, and then after that, it's all over.
And then, I guess the last of the big battles that we can have: Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers.
Who went through on that last one?
Art the Clown.
Okay, that's who I would have taken.
I got so distracted by the Step Brothers image, I didn't know if he said anything. I'm going Michael. I think the Friday franchise is much better than the Halloween franchise as a whole. Because the whole middle portion of the Halloween franchise kind of sucks. But as a character, I would say Michael.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to. Again, as a whole, I think Jason has stronger sort of character development, but I feel Michael's the more effective killer.
I think the whole fact that Michael feels like he's totally random in the original movie and it doesn't come from anywhere, I think is what I love about it.
I'll go with Michael, but it's not an easy choice. It's very very close.
In the battle of my cousins, because they are literally Michael and Jason, I feel Myers is stronger.
Let's just talk about how some of the later round people have been named Michael, Jason, Audrey, Art, Otis.
And the the final four are all houses that have appeared at Halloween Horror Nights.
So we have The Thing versus Xeno.
I guess the Thing. I keep saying the Thing reluctantly for some reason, but it's almost like it's cheating because it can turn into anything.
No, it's like 4 hours. That's that's an issue at this point.
Yeah, because I feel that like if Xenomorph did try and lay eggs to create sort of more within the Thing, it'd kind of rather than like how we saw with the God forbid Alien Predator films when you had the sort of Alien Predator hybrid thing. I feel the Thing would become the more dominant thing. So I said Thing too many times and getting confused. The Thing would be the more dominant of the pairing, and I think it would overdo it.
I'm gonna go with the Xenomorph, and this I may be off on this argument, but I would pick the Xenomorph because even if the thing turned into a Xenomorph, the Xenomorph knows its own body better than the thing would.
Such a complex body.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I hated AVP. That house was garbage. But I love the Xenomorph puppets. I have yet to experience the thing because it was a little bit before my time. However, I welcome its return to 35 next year, going with the thing.
I said that one was your choice, though, because if you had said the Xenomorph, I'd have changed my mind.
I thought about it. Well, Xenomorph does have the blood acid we spoke of. And no matter what the thing can turn into, maybe it won't be able to resist.
I was saying, I hate how reluctantly I've been saying the thing. I almost feel like I have to, even though I put him as one of my favorite villains of all time.
I'm gonna go with the Xenomorph. I think the Xenomorph, like Chris said, a Xenomorph knows their body better than the thing does.
So wait.
So we're stalemate. So I'm just.
I'm willing to go Xenomorph.
Certainly, I could see it edge it. It depends whether if it wasn't a direct battle, whether the thing would be affected as much by the alien blood.
I know who's winning this battle.
So there we go. That's not what I fucking copied.
Xeno.
That's also not what. What the fuck? Can I copy that? That's still stupid. Have I got to copy it from? I've got to copy it from the base file. Great.
Okay.
Right. That's still doing it. Screw it. We'll do it live. Right. Oh, that's why. Right, so Art the Clown versus Michael Myers as I try and get that sorted.
Oh no.
This sucks.
I mean, I'm gonna say Michael. You guys fight it out.
Michael has a hype man.
I mean, Art's got Victoria. Is that her name?
Yep.
Of course, then again, lately he seems more like he's Victoria's like henchman.
Especially with the third movie, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Michael is no one's henchman.
No, he is not. I'm gonna go.
Does Art die in the third one?
That's a loaded question.
That's a very loaded question.
Okay, so that's a loaded question. But if you take the end of Halloween ends, I mean, Michael's hamburger meat at this point.
I don't. There's so many different kinds of Halloween candy.
I'm gonna go with the closest thing to say about Art the Clown in Terrifier 3 is what? Is it Friday the 13th Part 6?
Which one?
The one after Manhattan?
That's Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
Is 9.
Oh, is it 9? I can't remember. That's Art the Clown, basically.
Yeah, they do have that in common. Well, Jason has that in common with him.
Yeah. I'd honestly go with Art.
And what did you guys say?
I went with Myers.
I'll take Michael begrudgingly.
So you sound unsure.
I haven't seen enough, or I haven't seen Terrifier 2 or 3 to help my argument for Art, so I'll have to take Michael.
You honestly have to see both of them to help your argument with Art. With this conversation, you have to take 2 and 3 into consideration when you do that. If you can't, then you might as well just say, well, Myers.
So then finally, Myers versus the Xeno.
Is that the last one?
That's the battle,
That's Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, because somehow
I'm going
I
with
think,
the Xenomorph.
to be honest, somehow I think that bloody boiler suit of his is somehow acid resistant. It's not tear resistant, but it's like bloody horror film logic. It's somehow okay for substances, but like sharp objects, fuck.
Dumpster.
The Xenomorph barely won against the Thing.
Yeah.
It's here on borrowed time.
Here's the question: would Michael's mask prevent him from being affected by the face hugger?
The facehugger wouldn't want to jump
I
on
don't
it because
think-
it's William Shatner.
Yeah, I don't think the mouth's not open, is it?
No.
I think it's just the eyes.
I mean, who's to say it couldn't pierce it? But the mouth is covered. I'm pretty sure the mouth's covered.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. Sure, I'm sure it could break through, but if that's our argument, I'm willing to roll with it that the mask will.
I'm gonna roll with the Xenomorph because if we take the one-on-one battle aspect out of it, we go back to what we did with the earlier rounds. The Xenomorph is more of a threat to humankind because it's not human, and if you stab Michael Myers, he's not gonna bleed acid on you.
If you stab Michael Myers, nothing happens.
Exactly. So now we have our grand champion, Ashley, run through the path to victory, and then we can take this home.
So Myers took out Candyman, then Leatherface, then Stuntman Mike, then Jason Voorhees, Art the Clown, and the Xeno. For our bounce on it crazy style Dale champion of champions. Maybe for 2025 if we do it again next year and mix it up, maybe. I don't know. We're done. So then I can switch that. Turn off the window capture. Turn off the streaming on here. So then we're just a full screen now. So yeah, only 3.5 hours. Thank God we
Hopefully
didn't do this
you-
live on Halloween because we wouldn't be able to watch anything Halloween.
Are you kidding me? You know what I'm doing on Halloween? We are talking right now, literally and figuratively, where you're watching this video. I'm probably scaring people at this moment.
Hopefully as part of Halloween Horror Nights and not as part of anything else.
I can assure you,
Good.
and I also can assure you, there's a wonderful man named Frank the Shark.
Aaron,
Be respected.
Well, now that I've done all this stuff throughout October, I suppose this is me officially handing the channel back to you, Owen, if you want to outro us.
Yeah. So once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us for September and October with all the content we provided. no matter what it was, no matter if it was a short video, a long video, or all points in between. Our Oscar predictions are up. You can check those out when this airs. And in the next couple days, we'll be doing our video on this so we can talk about it with a live chat. So sometime in the next few days, we'll be doing that. And at the end of this month, which is now, you just got your Oscar prediction video. So that's something you can look forward to. And next month, we're going to do another Oscar prediction video, and we're back to normalcy on the channel. More sipping snacks, more snack stashes, more content, more QA shows, just the regular stuff we do here on the channel. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, Chris, for returning for the show this evening. Dynamite drop in, Donnie.
It's good to be here. Wish Predator could have got to the end.
Close enough.
Otis jumping on a bunk bed.
Yeah. So Chris will pop in here and there occasionally throughout the season, probably through the rest of sometime in 2026, if I had to guess. And maybe Movie Club will be returned by now. I guess you'll have to wait and find out. Ashley can be found on X at AshIsMyNameUK. And AJ, of course, cannot be found on social media. And he also can't be found on the network except for the Oscar prediction video for this month. But now we're back to normal because it's November. You'll see him at the reviews, the verses, any segments he puts out on this channel in the rest of 2025. I can be found on X as well at Sir Owen Disney, and currently can be found in Grave of Flesh at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Orlando Resort. Somewhere. Don't tell you where, but somewhere. I'm there somewhere. That's your show, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in for the past almost 4 hours of hearing us talk about who is the champion of all champions when it comes to horror, and congratulations to Michael Myers. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Always remember to have the best day ever. We got a new Taylor Swift album to listen to. It came out a couple weeks ago. And in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.